Yeah,
think
like
he
the
mistook
cheese.
it for the Pokemon. You know what a hard task it is to make the Return of Luke work without using John Williams music?
Yeah, bell buckle
That bitch
Tennessee.
that bullied me in elementary school, that fucking hoe.
Did I steal that?
Fucking resting after Liz.
What did she do? Filoni is in love with G.I. Joe.
I don't know if we're supposed to like this character. Absolutely hate her. Personally, I want him to stay way, way away from Star Wars. So we're not even going to talk about the rest of the series on a whole. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Late Night. It has been far too long. Did we do one last week? I think we did one last week. I have missed you guys, honestly. I love every opportunity I have to come and sit down and talk with you guys a little bit of pop culture, a little bit of Star Wars. We've been moving away from Star Wars a little bit, but tonight I wanted to do a good mix. I wanted to bring a little bit of this, a little bit of that in. So we're going to do Star Wars topic, outside of Star Wars topic, Star Wars topic, outside of Star Wars topic. We're going to keep it fresh. Hopefully everybody enjoys just the kind of the role, the role of the content. That's what we're hoping for. I see all of my people in the chat. Hello, Gatekeepers, Daimyo, Valientes, SJ, Darth Scipio is here. Darth Weaven, not even a member anymore. And he just says X-Wing sucks. Well, you know what? You suck. Ghost Rider is here. Chris is here. Daisy Blossom Flower Child is here. Who am I missing? T Davidson is in the house. Star Wars Dog is here. What's up, Chris? J Day 636. Dude, my boy JD 636 has been like one of the kindest individuals to me in the world. It's so good to see you here. Hello. I was just showing off my my figures that you sent me to a friend. Darth Scipio is here. Georgie Girl, Beskar Man 38, Ted's Nerd World is in the house. Hello, Special Ray was just making fun of French people. Super gross. Super gross. Not very nice. I'm just kidding. I hate French people. Tricky J is in the house. What's up? Daisy Blossom Flower Child. It's so good to see you. Papa Palpatine's Pizza Padawan. That is a mouthful. Good to see you, brother. And Raging Rhino is in the chat. What's up? Good day, X. Good to see you, mate. How you doing? I can't help myself. Every time I get around Raging Rhino, I just go full Australian. I just cannot help myself. I'm doing all right, mate. Good to see you. Good to see you. Just took the ute down to Bendigo to get, a couple, I don't know, bees or something. I don't know. King's Advisors hops in with a member chat. Says 10 beautiful months here. Can't wait for the next 10 ones. Beautiful. It's good to see you, buddy. Good friend. We're going to bring in our co-host for the night. As always, our beautiful friend, Moff Rissman is here.
Hello.
Unfortunately, we're down Nikki again. She's traveling. Is she like too famous for us now? Is that the problem?
Yeah.
She's just out exploring the world, talking to people. I guess we're not cool enough anymore. I don't know. But luckily, we got an amazing individual in the Sundowners to join us. You're kind of becoming a normal face around here. People love seeing you, Sundowners.
Feliz sábado por la noche todos.
He's trying to speak Spanish now.
That was
Represent
wonderful.
Nikki.
There you go.
Nikki there.
You just need a couple tattoos and a tank top, and it's like
That's
the
right.
same thing. It's like the same thing. You got it.
No, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Scared of the sausage party. Okay. All right. Let's chill out a little bit here. So yeah, it's kind of funny in these downtimes. It feels like we don't have a lot to talk about, but in the last week, holy cow, it seems like there's just been a storm of news in pop culture, a storm of news. But there's still stuff trickling down with Star Wars. Sometimes you have to dig a little. You have to get into the sludge a little bit, and you can find a rock. Maybe not a diamond, but you can find a rock. But at least there's something to talk about here. And so I wanted... Yeah?
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Did you want to talk about that?
No.
It seemed important. That's a Lambda class shuttle. Did they do like a new micro?
No, it's just sits here. I have things that sit here that I love, and they're usually Empire or Return of the Jedi focused, and so I just put it there and see.
You are gonna love the fan film we're gonna talk about here in a minute.
Oh, I already watched it. I don't really love it that much, to tell you the truth, but okay.
And we do have to point out, X-Wing, that was it your last stream or the one before? A young lady jumped right into the chat, and Catherine Young, and won her a signed Ray Park Darth Maul figure.
Mm-hmm.
So you do get stuff if you show up on this stream.
That's true. That's true.
Stupid!
I wanted that figure. I wanted that figure so
X-Wing
bad.
He's so upset that he hasn't won that thing. But yes.
You didn't even call me. Ray Park's like at your house, walking around,
No,
checking
he
out
was
your tea
down the
dishes
street.
and stuff.
No.
Down the street? Oh, okay. That
No.
You know what? That fixes everything.
Yeah.
I take it back. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I did
no.
copy you on Twitter when she posted the photo of her receiving it.
Listen,
Thank you.
I am the only old guy on the stream, and once again, I'm the only old guy here.
Boy, chat knows how to piss me off. I love them so much. I love them. All right. So, look, we have to start somewhere. And I feel like this is kind of a big conversation for me because this ties into the whole the Star Wars sequels need to die. I never want to see them again. All the roads lead to Rey, yada yada yada. I mean, there's no getting around this conversation. But there was this Know Nothing article that came out about Adam Driver talking about a scene that he gets reminded about constantly, that he killed Han Solo. And he's just like, I swear to God, it's like every single day somebody was like, you know, you killed Han Solo, right? He's like, yeah, I fucking filmed it. I know it happened. But the reason I bring this up isn't because of the scene where he kills Han Solo, which I thought was a bad creative choice. I think a lot of people would agree with me. I don't think it was a good choice. But we're now standing on the cusp of possibly having another Star Wars movie. Who would you want to be the lead if they're not getting rid of Rey? They're not getting rid of, they're sticking with this whole shit storyline that they decided to make. Would you not be excited to see a Ben Solo Star Wars movie? Personally, I would, because as much as I hate The Rise of Skywalker, the one redeeming quality was the 15 seconds where we get Ben Solo. And it's like, that's a fucking Skywalker. He's doing what a Skywalker needs to do. It excited me. That was like the one part of that movie where I was like, oh man, here's some Star Wars. And I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Would you want to see a movie like that?
Go ahead, Matt.
You want me to go first? I think that Adam Driver as Ben Solo, and I guess Kylo Ren, both of them, for me, it was the best part of the sequel trilogy. So if
Kylo Ren sucked.
Say again?
Kylo Ren sucked. I liked Ben Solo.
Yeah. So if they want to do something else where Ben Solo comes back and all that, I'm like, okay, that's fine, I guess. And so there is some talk in the Rey movie. We're going to get some announcements here in the next little while about who's cast and who's there, and that he's coming back.
Well, there's a lot of fluff
movie
right now. It kind of in the ether that it's just a lot of Adam Driver talking Star Wars. And that's always odd that kind of like in this time frame, for some reason, we're getting a bunch of articles about, Adam Driver talking about Star Wars and his experiences in Star Wars and yada, yada. So I thought that was weird.
I will say again, we'll let some doubters go, but I will say again that every movie I've seen Adam Driver in, with the exception of 65 Million Years, I thought that movie was trash. But every other movie that he's been in, he's killed it in his role in comparison to him as Kylo Ren, Ben Solo, whatever. So he can act, and he's had a great amount of movies since then. I'm kind of like, wow, I don't need to see him come back.
See, and this is the problem. Like most, and I'm certainly in the camp. Like, dude, I don't want to see shit from the sequels ever again. And if I had it my way, we would just wipe that and start clean, 100%. That's not what's going to happen. It's just not. It'd be great if it did, but that's not what's going to happen. So if we had to do anything, I would rather have Adam Driver lead something off. Sundowners, I mean, what do you think?
Well, I like Adam Driver as an actor more than Daisy Ridley, just because he has more experience than she does.
Well, he can act, which is nice.
Yeah, not a knock on Daisy Ridley at all. Just she hasn't done a lot.
No, you can knock her, Sundowners, because I don't think she's a great actress.
Yeah, I just don't see.
I just don't.
Yeah, I haven't really liked her in anything that she's done since then. But
there's her face right there. That's her acting face. You can see it right there in the little. You got it.
Yeah, I just don't see how. You talked about the creative choices they made. You can't. How are you going to undo what they did with him as Kylo, killing Han, playing a part in killing Leia? She died indirectly from what they did with the attack, and then he disappeared. He became one with the Force and disappeared at the end of the movie. Like
so.
Well, it's a dyad. I mean, you can come back.
So that's the thing, okay? And this is how they justify it. This is the
come
problem.
back as the guy who killed his parents.
But this is what they can do, and this is how they justify it. And then they go back to the fans and they say, "You aren't happy, whatever we do." They go back to the dyad. That's what they do. They go back to the expanded universe and they say, you know, basically we were able to use some kind of an essence transfer bullshit to make him come back, and it works because it works in the expanded universe lore, which just sucks. Like, but it's also true. Like, you can do it, and so it's a lose-lose. Having said that, I would rather have him back than have a Rey-centric movie. I would rather have an Adam Driver restarting, basically taking what Luke should have done in the movies that we got and doing it in a new set of movies where he reinstates the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
And I don't see any way around them doing that.
Yeah, I'm going to make an 80s movie reference. You know, in Brewster's Millions, he said, vote none of the above. I just can't. I don't see an interest in, for me, going to see, but I understand your point. He's better than Rey. But
so I'm with you, but this is like the Bond movie where you're tied to the table and the laser's coming at your nuts and you have to choose, what do you want? Like, this is the best way forward, even if it, this might be a nail in the ear, but it's better than what the other one might have been.
It's tough if you vote none of the above and there's nothing else coming. It's like,
what do you do?
I hear you. It's like, what do you do? Right? I don't know.
A new cast, a new story, just reset. Yeah.
And Georgie says Kylo ain't Tenebrous, Vitiate, or Valkorian, not even close. I agree, 1,000%. But you have to realize that is a very niche part of Star Wars that a lot of people don't understand. I think they should bring it back in, but
is Drunk 3PO saying make the twins movie Jason and Jaina from the
Drunk
EU?
3PO's in the chat, my brother, my good friend. Guys, we got some news coming soon. I can't wait to talk to you guys about.
So highlight his other chat where he said make the twins. Is he talking about Jason and Jaina and the EU?
Jason and Jaina, yeah,
absolutely. What? Do it.
So
I would.
That's the only shot we have at getting the Star Wars that we want, is that basically you use Ahsoka to create two different timelines, and then you have the story of Jason and Jaina solo. You get the Yuuzhan Vong, you get the whole kit and caboodle, right? Not gonna happen. Never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Never gonna happen.
Because it makes too much sense, because you would bring in fans of the EU, people that read the books, people that like beyond your just normie Star Wars fans that would maybe go see the movie anyway. You bring in a subset that maybe is angry with you right now, but that would go see a movie if it was the EU. It was marketed that way. I don't know. Makes too much sense.
Well, so here's the other thought process.
They don't
is
do anything
like
that makes sense.
finally they decide to take that storyline, right? And then you get Jason and Jaina Solo. It's still going to be bastardized as badly as the sequel trilogy was, where we're upset with the stuff that we're seeing with, with Luke, with Han, with everyone. It's still going to be the same. It's still going to be the same issues. It's just a different storyline. Oh, I know what oh, okay. Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up. He's talking about Arcan. So, if anybody's watched he's talking about the video game cutscenes. So you remember Arcan? There was the two twins who were underneath an emperor, right? Valkorian, and they were.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about? It was the two guys with the yellow sabers. They were twins.
Yeah.
They take down two opposing empires to bring it underneath Emperor Valkorian, who's basically the true Sith Emperor. The twins from the game. Yeah.
Look, I want to go a different direction. So anything they would do that, is in a different direction and doesn't crap all over Luke and Leia and Han and the original trilogy, I'm down with it. See, they tried to play both sides. The sequel trilogy was inherently flawed because we've talked about it ad nauseum. Multiple directors not communicating with each other as much, so it seemed disjointed. Last Jedi versus Force Awakens, and then going back to JJ, the trying to play both sides of having Luke, Leia, and Han in there, but crapping all over their characters, and then having these new characters come in. It was disjointed, and they just didn't commit to something and stick with it. So it was very disjointed from the very beginning.
So in my mind, if we had the option and we could go tell the story of Kanan and Arcan, I think those are their names. I'm trying to remember. Valkorian is the guy I love. That's Darth Vitiate reincarnate, right? This is like the most evil Sith in the galaxy, hands down, bar none. We're talking about 17,000 years of rule. This guy is sick. All he cares about is power. When he's about to die, he just goes to another body, picks another one up, and does it again. And then he has these two sons. And if you've watched those cutscenes, you can realize how bad that dude is, because the two sons, they go and they fight in all kinds of different conflicts. And finally, at the end of it, they present these two sabers. And he turns away and starts walking backwards. And the one kid gets so mad. He turns around. He tries to kill his dad. It doesn't work. He turns around and he winds up killing his brother. And then the dad turns around and looks at him and goes, "Now you're ready." Great story. Incredible. You're talking about a galaxy-wide war, incredible cinematics, just mind-blowingly, what's the word I'm looking for? Not inclusive. What is it when you get entrenched in a universe? What's the word I'm looking for when you get entrenched in it's
immersed?
Immersive. Yeah, incredibly immersive. Incredibly immersive universe. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Did someone call him an idiot? I don't think they did.
Yeah, somebody
It was.
did.
It was
Oh no, really?
It's Saturday night.
Ease
Come
up
on,
on the
Paul,
tranny
y'all be
fluid.
nice. Be nice.
Oh no, that's what it was. He said, "Listen to the drunk droid," and then I take back what I said. Drunken droid is an idiot. So I'm with Jay on that. I think that's the way to go. But again, never going to happen, right?
But think about the things we see, little snippets that people enjoy. Luthen was a new character in Andor. Loved him. Balin, new character. Even though I guess he existed for a long time. We didn't know that. And Ahsoka, loved him. New characters. Commit to a story. A new story that takes place in the Star Wars galaxy with new characters, and just have a writer and director and that honor the lore within that space, but tell a new story.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
and don't spend $300 million to film it. Like,
Well,
Why is it so hard?
Well,
not.
it takes a good writer, and that's why. And okay, we can say what you want about Filoni. Fine. It takes two
Filoni
things.
sucks.
It takes a good writer, and it takes an actor who embodies the spirit and the essence of what's being written. And I think in both of those cases, as Skarsgård as Luthen and Let Him Rest, as Balin Skull.
Yeah, Ray did a wonderful job, dude.
Just took it, and even Ray was like, debating with Filoni about, Filoni's like, well, you're a villain, and Ray's like, well, am I?
Not really. Right.
I got a comment on a video that said, like, if you don't understand that Balin was a villain from the beginning, you're an effing artard.
But
what?
Not according to Ray Stevenson.
Even Ray Stevenson said, am I? And well, blah blah, and and again, that's just the total grayness of both his character and also Skarsgård playing Luthen's character. Although I think in that case, Gilroy was like, you're totally towing the line. Let's make sure you can epitomize the starting of the rebellion, and all the things that they did, and then Skarsgård's, oh, I got this, right? So, but again, it comes back to the writing and the actors being into it, right, and really epitomizing and just owning that for us as the viewers, and it works. When it works, it really, really works.
Yeah, Jay was talking about the bisexual twins from the High Republic. That's the story he wanted to see, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. So, it's one of those things where I can only observe what I see from the creators, and I'm sure that there are multiple layers of what's going on and how people are talking about things. But when you hear Dave Filoni basically say, like, you are a villain, there's no way around it. When it comes to Balin, it's like, you're shoehorning yourself. You're putting yourself in a corner. Why couldn't he turn around and redeem himself and be a fucking incredible character in this new place that you're working in? Whereas, I could see with Skarsgård's character, he is kind of set in his role in that place. He's kind of set. So I think it's interesting that you have, this character who knows nothing about Star Wars that is clearly directing their characters well. And then you have another director who should be versed very well in Star Wars that's dropping opportunities when they're smacking him in the fucking mouth. Excuse my French. But I mean, am I mistaken here? Balin Skull could have been developed into an entire new thread of God knows what. Balin Skull's apprentices could have been used for the next 15 years in storytelling. Is he good or is he bad? I don't know. It's a bit of a gray area. But it seems like he's afraid of that.
For me, the issue there is there really was no villainous intent, at least what I got out of it, in Ahsoka, right? I don't, even though you would assume, you would assume that Thrawn was the villain, right? And his, the Night Sisters and all the things that were going on, but there was no, to me, there was no apparent villainous intent in Ahsoka. Right. Whereas if you look obviously at what Tony Gilroy was given in Andor, like it or hate it, but we know who the villains are in Andor. Right. The Empire, again, it's such an easy play. Right. Old school Empire, and the way they showed the Empire in Andor, they were their
baddies.
It was their own character. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they were not nice. Right, and totally villainous. But in Ahsoka, I really think they failed at that, and for me, that's why the series didn't achieve what I would have hoped it would have. From a good versus evil perspective.
Well, and you can agree or disagree, and I'm sorry, Sundowners, I'll let you go after this, but it really didn't feel like there was a lot of weight there in Ahsoka. Right. There was not a lot of weight thrown around. It was like, what happened? Shit, I don't know. A guy saw a dude in another universe, and there was a massive decision that somebody made that could be massively altering?
No, but okay.
The girl made a choice that could have altered literally the timeline for her own galaxy. And it was like, what does the person say when they hear that? It's good to see you. What do we do now? I don't know. Let's, I don't know. We're going to throw him onto a ship. We're going to hang out here. Good luck, everyone. Like, what?
But what they did, the thing that offends me the most about Ahsoka is exactly what you were just saying, X-Wing, which is she invalidated the whole reason why Ezra gave everything up for all that time and for everything that needed to happen, because he said, I need to do this to make sure I can influence and take these things off the plate. And and then the world between worlds, he didn't save, he didn't do. Okay, fine. Right. He said, I did all these things. And then she just totally threw it all away because she felt so guilty. Right. And she just wanted, and then when they met, she's like, oh, it's complicated. Not going to tell you anything about that. And he's like, he should have been like, bitch, please, what the fuck is going on right now?
Yeah.
Right. And it was totally diminished. And then we're led to believe that him making it back or whatever is going to help redeem and all this. But still, I it was so badly written. I'm like, why? I don't get it.
Sundowners, I mean, you get...
Yeah, two things. Going back to Gilroy for a second, I think he did something really smart with Andor that we only got a glimpse of in Rogue One, because Vader was involved in Rogue One. We saw Mustafar, and we saw the Emperor and all that stuff. But in Andor, the villain was what Risman was saying, which was the military-industrial complex, the machine that the Empire was, and all the pieces of the humans were the pieces, the cogs in the machine that became the villain. And he painted that picture in such broad strokes that different systems and planets, you saw the prison systems, and you saw all the things that where the Empire impacted everybody. And so it was very well done, because in Andor, we haven't seen Vader and the Emperor and all that yet. We've seen the machine at work. That was very, very well done. And
not
Adam
the orchestrator. We've seen the machine, not the... Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting, because where do you take that in season 2 to wrap it up? But as far as Adam Driver,
this is why I say they made the Empire a character, right?
Yes.
They were characterized, in Andor, and that's all Tony Gilroy.
Now, the question around Adam Driver, which is the article you pulled up, going back to Adam for a second, I think all this started because Sean Levy was said to be directing a Star Wars film. And Sean Levy, for those that don't know, he's very good friends with Adam Driver.
Directors, by the way.
Yeah, they're close friends. He directed Adam Driver in a movie in 2014. I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was
Logan Lucky?
No, it's called This Is Where I Leave You. This Is Where I Leave You.
Oh, was that the Rachel McAdams or something like that?
It's
like Good Soup. I think that was the one.
A bunch of character actors in it, but so that's where they became good friends. And so the thought was, if Adam Driver's going to return, he's going to return to the Sean Levy movie. So the question is, if Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy is still doing the Rey movie, how are you going to, so there's some interesting dynamics at play, because we know that Sean Levy is starting to be rumored for directing a movie. And we have the 3 other directors that were put on stage. They're not doing 4 or 5 Star Wars movies. They got to get one off the ground. So I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know if we'll see Adam Driver back, but there's good characters. It goes back to, and it's not a knock on Filoni, but the reality is he's an animator, and now you're dumping scripts on him to say, which is not fair to him, by the way, to say, hey, write this series, do this, write this movie.
Well, not only scripts dumped on him, but now he's got the big fluff title change, right? That came week before last, was that?
Yeah.
Week before last. And now
but also when he got that chief creative officer title and in that Vanity Fair article, he said there was a lot of interesting things that were said there. And one of the things was, he said, you know what, it was so important for me to actually have my opportunity with the Ahsoka series because I got to be involved in all aspects of live action. And now I feel like, again, I'm paraphrasing what he said, but now he said, I feel like I'm more able to understand what's going to happen with other folks who will be in this role. And I think it, read between the lines or whatever. And he said in the same interview that he's not going to be in that position any longer, right? He's just going to be there helping and guiding and I, maybe he didn't like it. I don't know. Right. But I don't think we should take it to mean that he's going to continue on, doing everything that he did in Ahsoka season 1 in the future, because we
can only pray he can't continue to do what he did.
I know.
Excuse my French.
It.
So
what's up, Dodge? Dodge is here. What's up, Dodge?
I have beat this to death. I think there are so many people out there who are fans of Star Wars, and I really do think true fans of Star Wars who think that Filoni is the way forward. And I'm here to tell you, as a good friend and a Star Wars fan, he is not the way forward. I promise you. Look, you keep that guy in animation, he's going to do great for you. He's going to do great. You're going to love the stuff that he does. But you put him in live action, he will burn this franchise to the ground faster than frickin' Kathleen Kennedy did. He's not the right choice.
There's nothing wrong with doing just going, because I'm on the Game of Thrones House of the Dragon kick today. There's nothing wrong with having a writer or someone with a script go sit down with Dave Filoni and say, I have an idea. I've written a draft, an outline. I want to tell this story and pitch it to the creative officer, just like Ryan Condal was writing the TV series Colony, and George R. R. Martin liked it. He'd met George R. R. Martin like 6 years before, like in 2007 or something crazy. And he goes and meets with him, and he likes the show Colony. And Ryan starts working with George R. R. Martin. 4 years later, they call Ryan and say, hey, tell me what you think about House of the Dragon. What would you do? And he starts writing it. And now he's the showrunner for House of the Dragon. So it's a writer that worked with the creative officer, in this case was George R. R. Martin, and gets approval to move forward. I don't have a problem with Dave Filoni if he's your creative officer and a writer, an established writer like Tony Gilroy. Tony Gilroy brings his brother in, right? I think it's his brother.
That's an established writer, though.
Right.
Too many Gilroys. Yeah, Dan Gilroy and all those, again, from the animation. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go to Filoni and go, we got a story. We've written a draft, an outline. What do you think? And Dave goes, okay, it's tied into this, and give him a few pointers, but he's not writing it. It's almost like you see talented people. Filoni is talented in animation, and he knows Star Wars, but he's in the wrong role. He's in the wrong role.
It doesn't translate to live action, and you can see it in so many different instances in Ahsoka, where it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? That looks horrible. What you're doing does not work. It works in a cartoon universe. It does not work in live action. Really quick, I have to. I'm sorry for housekeeping. Really quick.
No! What are you doing? Oh, chat management. Okay, and you got some super.
Just a little bit of chat management, really quick. I'm sorry. Look, Ghost Rider, buddy. Here's the thing. I love you. Obviously, you've had your problems with Rissman. That's why you got banned from the Discord. But look, I love Drunk 3PO. He's a good buddy of mine. He has been a good buddy of mine for a long time. We're working together as business partners. I can't have you in here just shitting all over. You know, I invite somebody into my house to come hang out and have a good time and talk about Star Wars. It looks really bad when they walk in the door and somebody walks in and goes, fuck you and your ideas. I don't like it, man. So either cool it off or I don't know, figure something else out. Filoni gave us the Maul Savage versus Sidious fight, but it sure as F he ain't the savior of Star Wars. Yeah, so this really just rolls along the same vein. I think he knows what he's doing in the cartoon world, but the problem is, and you know, Rispin, Sundowners, you can talk on this, he's running out of rope, if this makes sense. So he's been able to operate and tell these stories within George Lucas's universe, which is 1 through 6. That's where he's been able to operate and be successful, because he's kind of riding on the back of George Lucas and filling in these little time gaps. But eventually he runs out of time and he has to do something new. And I think that's basically what Ahsoka was. I mean, obviously Rebels was outside of it. Clone Wars was inside of it, but Rebels was outside of it. He was successful, but now he's trying to create his own little offshoot, and I don't know that it's working, and I think it's a double thing. So now he's in live action, and he's outside of George Lucas's told universe. I think maybe that's why it's happening. Maybe that's why everybody's like, fuck Dave Filoni. Like, fans aren't happy.
Keep in mind, Rebels didn't get good ratings when it first aired.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about whether we like it or not, but it didn't get good ratings. So,
you know, but what I think for me, where he could have capitalized further on Ahsoka, and maybe we'll still see that payoff, I don't know. But this whole other universe or other galaxy or whatever he did, it ended up just being a nondescript, stupid planet that could have been in the galaxy that we've already known about. But okay, put that to the side, right? Where he's like, okay, you know, we're gonna be on Pridia, we're gonna do all these things, you know, that really expand our way of thinking and give an opportunity to tell new stories that aren't necessarily, you know, tied to the galaxy that we're used to. I thought he really, this sounds like just shitting on Filoni again, but okay, whatever it is.
How dare
I thought he really failed at that too, right? It was just another stupid planet, right? There was nothing special about it, right? And it never got sold to be something that we cared about. And then even at the end, when Bale and Skulls, he was on the statues or whatever, and now these interviews have come out, and Filoni's been like, well, I wouldn't read too much into that. You know, if you didn't know what that was all about, that's okay. I just wanted it to be iconic. Right. How
are you going to tell your viewers to not give a shit about the world you created? That's insane to me.
He literally said, don't think too much about it. You don't have to think back to Mortis or whatever. I just wanted it to be iconic. And if you know about it, you know. If you know, you know. I hate that. I hate that online today. If you know, you know.
You remember the old days of like, do your homework? That used to be important. We made fun of it, but it was important.
Now,
you know what they did?
It should be iconic. Fuck you, man.
They sat in a room. Matt, you know what they did? They sat in a room, and it may not have been Filoni that said this, but someone sat in a room and said, you know what? Remember in Lord of the Rings? There's those statues. Like, let's do on the mountainside when they get on the planet, and he's looking out over. They go, that'd be cool, and then they just do it, and there's no payoff. There's no depth to what you're seeing on the screen. It doesn't go anywhere, and that's just bad. That's just bad. Let's add this, you know, and that's where it became. I hate to say it, but that became the joke on South Park. Put a chick in it, like it just becomes dopey. There's no reason for it. And he proves that when he gives interviews.
And then he took it and again, I don't mean to speak ill of the dead because it's not my intention, but he took it there, and he kind of said, not only was that supposed to be iconic, but then he said, well, I don't know what we can do with this anymore because Rey was Balin. And now that Rey's no longer with us, right? I don't know if we need to keep going or whatever. I'm like, so was it never important? If he never passed, let him rest. But if he never passed, was there not a plan? Was there, it makes me a little apprehensive.
Yeah, it itches the scab on your back a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
not
it's
to
like-
drive. So we've driven the nail through the coffin. Now we're going to drive it through the back of the coffin and all the way into the dirt behind the coffin.
Hey, so look up, because this just proves a point. Vincent Regan, who played in One Piece, who was in the House of the Dragon teaser today, he looks just like Ray Stevenson, and he's a really good actor.
He's the Garp guy. He's the Garp guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
He
So
plays
very
he
good.
plays the Kingsguard. Like, he's in the teaser today. I thought, there's Balin's skull. Like, he looks just like Ray Stevenson, and he is a good actor.
Yeah.
So if you had somewhere you were taking Balin, I don't buy it for a sec. Like, you can recast. Like, it happens. People die in show business, entertainment, and it sucks. We all love Ray Stevenson. He kicked ass in his final role. We I've loved him in everything he's ever done. But you recast if you were taking that somewhere.
If
So
it if it really matters, right? Son,
matters, right?
And I'm not
really
convinced
mattered.
it mattered. It didn't. Did it matter?
Yeah.
Well, what did they give us at the end of Ahsoka? Why do we care? Why do
The
we
whole
care about
purpose was
Balin?
getting Thrawn back and getting Ezra back. There was no other reason.
No, you're wrong. And this is what the Twitter people say. Didn't you see them standing on the statues at the end?
Irrelevant.
Yeah, I did.
Irrelevant.
I saw it. What does that mean?
Listen, if you don't think that when they tell the story how quickly they're going to get Sabine and Ahsoka off that planet, it's going to be done in like 2 episodes.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm in the middle of writing a story, and when you put something in chapter 2 that should have weight in chapter 10, you have to think about that, right? And when chapter 10 comes around and you say, well, they stood there and then something happened, and then the book ends, you're like, do you not feel shitty as a writer that you're like, you paid nothing off? There's a statue there, and then you tell your audience you have to wait for book 2. No, you have to give your viewers a complete story. Otherwise, what the fuck are you selling? It's heroin. You got to come back for a second hit.
It can be worse. The kids can save them in Skeleton Crew, right? It can still get worse. It can always get worse.
And you know what's the worst? I used to not believe you about your takes, Rispin. And we got a lot of guys in the chat that would be like, Rispin has shitty takes. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I was like, dude, I'm telling you, Mando season 3 is going to hit. This is the rebirth of Star Wars. We're good to go. And at the end of Mando season 3, I'm like, Matt, I'm going to listen to you, everything you have to say moving forward.
And by the way, listen.
Somebody sent me a clip of one of our long time ago live streams when you and I were talking about whether or not she was going to be a Night Sister. What's her name?
I got that same message.
Yes, it was. He said,
a Night Sister. She's not going to be a Night Sister.
She's like, there's no way she's going to be a Night Sister. I was like, well, we'll just wait and see. And she was a fucking Night Sister.
Fucking Night Sister. Unbelievable.
Well, keep in mind, when Risman gave the take that I gave him a little bit of crap for about Mando 3 is going to suck. And he did that after season 2 of Mando when people loved it, by the way.
That
when
was,
Luke
that was the high time. Yeah.
People were like, there's no way season 3 is going to suck. Because season 2, did you see how it ended? Yeah. And Matt was like, oh, it's going to suck.
But I'm
starting to think Risman might have wrote season 3, and he was like, "You just
he
wait."
knew Lizzo was showing up. He hid it from us.
But I based my suckage. I based what I said about that totally on Grogu in the IG. Yes,
I
no,
remember
yes,
that.
no, yes, no. That's what I based. I didn't know any of the rest of it was going to suck worse.
I remembered seeing the leaks about Grogu being in an IG unit. As like a Tony Stark Iron Man, and I'm like, there's no way on God's green earth they're dumb enough to do something like that.
You said that. You said, no, that's never gonna happen. I was like, I think it's gonna happen. It's gonna
full blown. I said that. I'm like, dude, on God's green earth, they're not dumb enough to do that. And then they did it, and I'm like, I don't know what to believe anymore.
And it got worse.
It got worse.
That was the cutest part of it. I'm like, geez,
that part
Louise,
I forgot about.
I knew it was going to get worse than that.
You guys just mentioned that. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that was the reason why I thought it would suck.
All right, so here's my question then, because this is just such a funny topic of conversation. I can't get away from it. You have different levels of absurdity in the Star Wars universe. So for me, and I know a lot of people who subscribe to my channel, a lot of people in the chat are going to feel the same. Kenobi was the worst canonically for basically Star Wars overall. I mean, Kenobi just it and we're talking about Disney Plus shows. It ruined a shitload of stuff.
I just have to pause you for a second. I just have to ask this question.
Okay.
Which was worse, Kenobi or Mando season 3?
Kenobi.
Well, this is the question I'm trying to pose, right? Because Mando season 3 was absurd. It was stupid. It was out of this world. It was just strange. It was effed up. It had nothing to do with Star Wars. That's the way I think about it. They're like, oh, we have a B2 battle droid, and he kicks it, and like all of a sudden I'm supposed to get prequel feels or something. Like,
it wasn't a core character being shit on.
It was stupid, but just like Sundowner just said,
the droid who's like,
and he like kicks it, but it wasn't Kenobi doing it. Now you roll back to Kenobi, and now you're talking about a bridge between the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy.
That's right.
And you F that up, that's a problem. And my buddy, where is he at? My buddy, Book of Boba Fett,
Book of Boba
Fett is like way worse than Kenobi. I can't stand on business with that. Like, but Kenobi was way worse for the entirety of Star Wars than Book of Boba Fett was. Book of Boba Fett was bad. It was bad.
Yeah. But I think Mando season 3 was worse than Kenobi because
to the timeline?
No. Because they spent the first 2 seasons of Mando making it great and culminating it at the end of what we got in Mando season 2, and then they totally ruined it in Mando season 3. And I'm like, well, at least we got Darth. At least we got a Darth Vader.
Well, no, see, you know what's funny? You and Jay are like 100% on the same page that Boba Fett was the worst.
Boba Fett was awful.
You guys are totally dead on with that. For me, I love Boba Fett. It's one of, if not the most iconic character from the original trilogy. Like, what were you gonna buy? Were you gonna buy a Luke, or were you gonna buy a Boba Fett? Everybody bought the Boba Fett, right? But
and that's why you got the Boba Fett for free. You saved up your shit and you got a Boba Fett.
From a storyline perspective, Boba Fett going soy vegan is not as bad as Obi-Wan and what he did.
The thing up his nose. The thing up his nose.
Well, yeah, he did a bunch of drugs and then went soy vegan. But legitimately, Obi-Wan and his Obi-Wan and his inability to protect Luke Skywalker, because that's what that show was, ruins the canonical storyline of Star Wars. Am I wrong?
As much as they ruined the Star Destroyer in Kenobi, I will die on this hill personally and saying that I think the Kenobi series was much better than Mando 3. Mando 3 Mando 3 was abysmal. They had a gold mine, and they not only did they fuck it up, but they fucked it up with Jack Black, Lizzo, and Christopher Lloyd, who I'm still convinced doesn't understand why he was there. Right?
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna replay the last 30 seconds of what Risman just said.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
I'm telling you. I will never ever rewatch Mando season 3.
So
I'm not
so
rewatching
Matt,
any of them.
So Matt, when Jimmy Kimmel's nephew got swallowed by the bird and got regurgitated in the nest, didn't you feel like that was like The Godfather, or like, some great movie cinema that you were watching when Jimmy Kimmel's nephew watched? I think he goes by the name. This is a creative name in Star Wars. Ragnar. His name was Ragnar. Like
I feel like I've heard that somewhere.
Dude, wait, was there a Viking show on History? Let's name the kid Ragnar, and he gets
about
regurgitated
Lothbrok or something. Lothbrok.
For me, I always go to what makes me mad, right?
Obi-Wan made me mad. Kenobi made me mad.
No, but
Kenobi
when
made me mad.
I watched She-Hulk, it made me mad.
Yeah.
Right. When I watched Kenobi, I was perturbed on a few things, but there was enough there when they did it right, and when Ewan brought it, and when those things happened, that I said, all right, I got it. At least the music was good. Right, but for Mando season 3, it pissed me off. Really pissed me off. And then when I thought it was getting good, just when we finally got to Moff Gideon, he went out like a bitch too.
Yeah.
I'm like, just to add insult to injury. Finally now real okay. Yeah.
It was so outlandish that I didn't get mad. One, because he's not a Mando. I agree with you. They built it up and it was successful and they ruined it. But he was not a core character that impacted the canon. And then when Lizzo and Jack Black said, I just laughed at it. I was like, I got to see what people's streaming's reaction are, because I can't even believe I watched this. But I wasn't mad. When Kenobi, it ruins the canon and the timeline of everything that you learned from the original trilogy, the prequels, the original trilogy. It literally shits on 30 years of canon.
Everything
in a bad way.
See, and that's where I'm at. Okay, so like Mandalorian season 3, look, we fell in love with this guy named Mando. Okay, I bought a fucking helmet. It's hanging on my wall. I was like, all right, I love Mando. I'm into this. Grogu.
You want the Razor Crest, right?
I have the Razor Crest that I bought, and then I think like that week they blew it up in the freaking show.
I loved it.
I know.
Whatever. I loved it.
Whatever. Look, stuff happens in the universe. I'm like, cool. I have a Razor Crest. None of that stuff bothers me. Season 3, you move in. Now, all of a sudden, something changes. All of a sudden, it's not really about Mando anymore. It's not really about Din Djarin. We're moving into, it's the redheaded chick. Now it's her show. Now it's Katie Sackhoff's show. And by the way, that was the entire point of Mandalorian season 3, was we named it the Mandalorian. Now it's shifting to a different Mandalorian. Why are you guys mad? It's about the Mandalorian. Who's the Mandalorian?
And
it's Din Djarin, you jack off. Did you change it? Hold on, because I'm not done.
Go.
I got a whole bunch of rage.
Go.
So they shift it from Din Djarin to now we're Katie Sackhoff. Okay, it's the Bo-Katan show, and trust me, it is the Bo-Katan show. And if you think season 4 is going to be about Din Djarin, especially with everything going on with Homeboy, and he doesn't want to be a part of that show anymore, Pedro Pascal, I've decided to not sign a contract. It's going to be the Bo-Katan show. Excuse me. Why do I care about any of that? Why would I give a crap about any of that? I don't care if Bo-Katan throws a roly-poly for a bocce point, 15-point awesome, or Din Djarin gets a key to a city on a planet I've never fucking heard of in my life. I don't care about any of that shit. But you have Obi-Wan Kenobi, top Jedi of the Jedi Order, forgetting how to use the fucking Force? and then chasing a girl through the streets like a moron? Get out of my town. And then on top of that, you have Reva, some bitch I've never heard of in my fucking life, pulling out a lightsaber and deflecting blaster bolts from a T-47 that blew up a fucking AT-AT in Empire. Get out of here.
By the way, she survived 2 kill attempts by Anakin Skywalker, aka Vader.
Yeah. And by the way, the chosen one apparently is into diversity and didn't know how to kill a human for once.
Oh, how about this? Go watch A New Hope, and she sends the hologram Leia, and she goes, General Kenobi, years ago you served my father in the Clone Wars. Well, that's fucking broken, because now we know that Obi-Wan spent a whole bunch of time with a young Leia.
Don't forget about our little young Leia adventures that we so conveniently put into that shit.
By the way,
get out of here.
You get to the lightsaber duel at the end of the original movie that set the whole stage, and Vader says, when we last met, I was the student, or I was the learner, but now I am the master. No, not so fast.
How does that make sense when you're the Sith Lord? You're already a Sith Lord.
Like, we don't care about that. Kathy said, look, we got to have Vader.
You're arguing about this shit right now, John? AT-AT and AT-AT? I need some more.
And we're not even getting into Deborah Chow. We're not even getting into how bad she filmed that show. When Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers is chasing the girl,
I forgot. I always forget about Flea. But
it was shot, and I'm not blaming totally Deborah, because they filmed it out in California on the lot, right? They went cheap. We know now they went cheap on Kenobi. So all the way around, it was a disaster, and it broke canon. But Mando Season 3, listen, we're arguing about what turd is stinkier. I mean, Mando 3 was bad, Matt, and you called it. And I never thought I would watch an episode and see something like I saw with Lizzo and Jack Black. The fact that even got past anybody's approval blows my mind, even for Disney and Lucasfilm. Even for them, still blows my mind.
Well, and also, in speaking about Katie Sackhoff's comments, it's where I was trying to talk about with X-Wing earlier, because she's at these cons or whatever, and they asked her, so they're like, well, is this still Din Djarin's show? What? And she said, of course it is. Of course, this is always about Din Djarin. He is the Mandalorian. We were telling an important story about Bo-Katan, and I was happy to do that. And remember, if you think back to the previous interviews, and this is not unusual, right? When they asked Katie Sackhoff to come back as Bo-Katan, would you be interested? She said, sure, I'm interested, right? Which is what happens. And then she got the scripts, and she looked at them, and she went back to Jon Favreau. Don't get me started. I know Ghost Rider's here. I won't go there. She went back, and she's like, are you sure? I mean, it seems like a lot of me. He's like, well, yeah, you signed up for this. Look what you're doing now. And she's like, well, I got this, right? Because she is a consummate professional, right? And she killed it, right? The best part of Mando Season 3 was Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan. But she didn't, maybe she got a little bit screwed. I don't know how much they paid her one way or the other, but I don't think she signed up for being the lead actress in the series, and it happened.
She's got this is what I heard when we met her at the event in San Antonio. She's got a multi-year contract. I don't know if it's 3 or 5 years, and that limits her doing other projects. Like, literally, someone that knows more can speak on this. She gets, Jay, you, Matt, she gets locked in, right? And they can dictate like other things she can and can't do. So she can't just go run off and do movies and stuff. It's got to get cleared through Lucasfilm or Disney.
Well, that's why she stopped doing her podcast. Her podcast disappeared. Why?
She had a podcast?
She did.
Yeah,
seriously.
And it disappeared after she had Bryce Dallas Howard on. Disappeared.
Yeah.
Really?
She said it was due to the strike. And she's talking about bringing it back, but she has moved away. A lot of people don't know this. She was filming that podcast at Christian Harloff's studio.
Yes.
And she has now moved out of California. She's living in Oregon now.
God, you guys know like these people's lives. That's crazy.
She was talking about moving when she was at the superhero con, and she was talking about that to people around her, and then she moved, and it's public. It's on her Instagram. She moved. She's originally from Oregon. That's where her mother and family live, and she wants to raise her young daughter outdoors. She's very active outdoors. So she's moved. She's not in California anymore. So I don't think
Pilgrim's going to find her. The Great Pilgrim's in Oregon also.
Yeah, Great Pilgrim. All that to say, if she does do the podcast, it won't be at Christian Harloff's studio, and he was running the whole thing.
She ain't bringing that podcast back.
I don't know that she is. But
I'm going to try to not butcher this. I think it's Galf R35.
Galf
R35. Nothing wrong with Bo-Katan being the lead of her own show, but having her become the lead after the last lead becomes a background character is just stupid. This is what they do, though.
Well, in X-Wing, it's so funny you mentioned.
Didn't that shit happen in Ahsoka with frickin' Sabine?
But you mentioned Pedro and his business about no longer being on set, and I had a conversation with somebody in the comments section of a video saying, it's kind of like, how can you continue when the lead of the whole series is no longer on set? Does it still matter? And I was kind of like, well, I mean, he wasn't there the whole season 3. I mean, the voice was there, and I got Brendan Wade and Lateef and all those folks that are doing
in
the stunt acting and all that stuff in the suit. That's great. I'm kind of like, for me, I don't think it matters if Pedro is on set or not.
Well, there's a difference, though. I think
the writing sucks. The writing still sucks.
Totally, I agree, but I think you're missing the point on this. Is it's not that Pedro Pascal is on set or not on set. It's the fact that Katie Sackhoff, Bo-Katan, is taking over as the Mandalorian. I think that's why people are pissed off. It's not that he's not there, or that he's not in the suit, or whatever, blah blah blah. The fact is that Bo-Katan completely took over season 3. 100%. She is the Mando now. She has the Darksaber. She got the shit in a weird roundabout fucking way. She brought the clans together. Yeah,
but she didn't
talk about that. Don't buy that toy.
But I just have to say again, she didn't usurp, right? She came in and acted in the role at the story that Jon Favreau wrote, right? She didn't like, I'm gonna take this over. I'm hot bitch now. No, she showed up and she was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "This is the story. That's
what people are pissed about. Is that like that it's changing?
Well, don't be pissed at Katie Sackhoff. Be pissed at Jon fucking Favreau.
I'm not pissed at Katie Sackhoff. I love Katie Sackhoff.
So
I adore her. Yeah.
Bob 19001. That's a good point. Pedro got paid for season 3, not at the wage of a voice actor. He got paid as a lead of a series at Pedro Pascal's scale.
Yeah.
And so the question is, nobody doubts that he can go do the AMR and record lines for season 4. The question is, Pedro does not want to get paid is just doing voiceover. He's not taking that check.
Right. So he's taking the on-set check.
That's right. And he doesn't want to be on set. So how is Lucasfilm going to solve that? I think they'll digitally do the voice to make him sound like Pedro has sounded. Like,
hey, what's up, Maria?
When it comes right down to it, Sundowners, does it matter? Right? Is there anything about Pedro's voice or even him being on set that makes a hills a bit of difference?
No, it doesn't. They got bigger problems.
It doesn't make no difference at all.
They got bigger problems. I mean, bigger than Lizzo. Their problems are bigger than Lizzo's diet. And they've got more things to worry about than, is this guy going to take his helmet off? Is Pedro going to be there? Listen, your ship just hit an iceberg. You're worried about, where the band is playing. You got
All right.
problems, man.
Real quick, I gotta hit these special Ray.
I know,
dropped all of
Special
these
Ray
super
is doing
stickers.
everything.
Dude, special Ray.
And a super chat. Drunk 3PO is the victor. He's always the victor. He's always the victor because he's never a victim. I'd love to see it. Real Super Shadow said, "Oh, who took my bottle of 18-year scotch?" It was me. I took it. Brian W, member for 6 months, says, "What's up, gentlemen? Have a great stream. X-Wing is average at golf." That was a compliment. It was supposed to be an insult, but that actually was a compliment. Special Way for $4.99 says, "John was on the booger sugar or something when making season 3.
Listen, more than booger sugar. That dude
That
was
would explain the nose lizards, man. That's all I'm saying.
God.
All right, we got to play this. Thank you, everybody, for your super chats, your member chats, everything. Thank you guys so much for being here. Oh, we got one more. We're going to run it one more time. What's up, Teds? What ding? Love to see it. Thank you, everybody, for supporting the channel. I can't tell you how much it means to me. I know I'm a terrible YouTuber, but your support means absolutely everything. All right. I want to tackle this really quick. Just it's more Dave Filoni. You know, I said this earlier. I don't think he's the right choice. Now, there's a very intricate conversation to be had here. Everyone can become a Jedi. Just right off the cuff, would you say yes or no, Sundowners?
no, absolutely not.
Okay.
Yes, the answer is yes.
Okay, and Risman says yes. I didn't know what you were doing. I don't know if you're just like adjusting your junk down there, or if you went to go get a drink.
No,
Everyone,
my keyboard is a rechargeable keyboard, and it decided to die. So I'm rather than
I
so
gotcha.
I'm just trying to fix the keyboard.
Okay, so everyone can become a Jedi. Ahsoka showrunner explains how Sabine's Jedi pot blows the Force wide open. So I don't need to read this article because I already know how Dave Filoni feels about the whole thing, right? I mean, we already know how Dave Filoni feels about this whole thing. Now, the big debate comes from Star Wars fans between early George Lucas and late George Lucas. Early George Lucas probably would have said anyone can be a Jedi. After the prequels, there's a thing called midichlorians, right? And everybody could become a Jedi, but it depends on your midichlorian count on how powerful you are, right? Yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
the fuck is Sabine Wren? And why, all of a sudden, is she able to pull feats that the Chosen One wasn't able to do at his age?
Listen, her midichlorian count is lower than Lizzo's titty line.
Can somebody clip that really quick? Somebody just clip that really quick.
She couldn't even. What was she trying to move in the first couple episodes? A coffee cup? What was she trying to move?
No. This is Dave Filoni doing what Dave Filoni does. He sets you up in a Japanese like a Japanese dojo.
Yeah, dojo.
And you have sake cups.
Oh yeah.
In Star Wars, you have sake cups.
Yeah, she couldn't move a shot glass or a sake cup.
Right.
And at the end, she's catapulting Ezra 1,000 feet onto
She throws a human 1,000 feet onto a Star Destroyer.
Yep.
Now, I might just be some cringy, weird basement nerd, but I've got a problem here. Risman, I'm really stoked for you to shed some positive light on this, but I just don't understand.
You know, I have to say, for me, one of the worst parts of Ahsoka was the whole pushing on the Star Destroyer that you just talked about, right? Because I thought they did a decent enough job. Again, it's going to be another one of my shit takes. That's fine, right? But I thought they did a decent enough job when they got there to unpacking why Ahsoka was not, representing her best self, and why she didn't feel like she could teach Sabine, and why Sabine wasn't really receptive. And we had Hu Yang saying to Sabine, you're the worst Padawan in the history of 25,000 years of
That's the craziest part of the show is that Hu Yang says you're the fucking worst Jedi there ever was.
And because of that, I would have been perfectly okay for her grabbing the lightsaber, or for her actually moving that sake cup if we ever got back there. But when they jumped the shark and it came to her pushing him, again, like a la Kanan and Ezra, and I get the reason why it happened, but it was totally inconsistent with the whole way they had written even her realizing her potential. If Hu Yang had never said, "You're the worst of the worst," right? And I
that should have been a season 2 ender, is what that move should have been, not a season 1 shitty moment.
I suppose if we have to rationalize that, maybe he was just trying to encourage her. I'm just like, I'm gonna say she's the worst of the worst, but I'm gonna help her. You know what? I really didn't like that push, and it was plot convenience. I'm
gonna pull up the chat of the night right now. You've been knighted, Mob 19001. There's something even more powerful than the Force. The plot.
Yeah, just said it. Right? It was all for the plot, and I didn't like
folding arms transfers energy.
I didn't like the way they culminated the whole Sabine Padawan story to be essential to Ezra getting back. I didn't like it.
And why did they name the show was bad? Like, can we just say it was bad?
Why did they name the show Ahsoka and the whole first season was about Sabine?
Well,
you can make a strong case that the show was about Sabine.
What was Kenobi about?
It was about
Kenobi was about Kenobi.
Yeah. And Flea chasing a little girl through the woods, like running at about 10 miles per hour.
I will say again that the Kenobi being called Kenobi was much better than Mando 3 being called Mando or Ahsoka.
Okay, all right. So let's have a small discussion really quick about shows and what you call them and how you write it and why you call a show a show. Why would you call it? So what is the reason that Kenobi does anything in the show Kenobi?
Well, the goal would be,
why does he do anything he does?
His mission is supposed to be
Bail fail. It's all about Bail.
If you watch the end of the prequels, his master says, "Go to Tatooine.
Training for you I have,
and watch over the boy. And in the meantime, learn how to commune with the Force. I will help you." Like, he gets a directive,
right?
And so I'm like, "Oh, Kenobi,
we're gonna watch straight up order from Mother effing Yoda to do what you need to do. You have to protect the boy." So if you were given that order as a man, what would you do? And you're going to be like, "Hey, by the way, you're going to be alone in a cave for like years." What do? You go get the biggest set of fucking irons you can from Goodwill and you just start pumping. You're like, "I don't give a fuck who shows up. I'm going to fuck these guys up. I'm ready for anything." Right? And how do we see Kenobi? He's like, "I work at a fish market and my dick don't work no more. My dick don't work, but I don't know, man. And then,
Well, I mean,
and
apparently
then the
it
governor
worked.
calls him and is like, my daughter's in trouble. And he's like, I can't do nothing, man. My dick don't work no more.
X-Wing, he
Like,
had a
That's
Jawa.
Kenobi in the show.
He had a Jawa on the side. Something worked.
Like, is anyone actually like buying this? Am I
he was
fucking
cutting
nuts?
meat. He was cutting meat.
He was cutting tuna.
I work at the fish market, but my dick don't work no more, man. Like, what the hell was that Kenobi? And then they're like, oh, by the way, now you have a Jedi mission. You have to go off planet and save our daughter. And all of a sudden it's like, well, my dick don't work, but
Hey,
I gotta make
even-
my dick work, man. Oh, she's
even-
falling. My dick. Oh,
Even
now
the
my dick
10-year-old
works.
Even the 10-year-old girl was on a panel being interviewed and said, "Man, when they hid me under his trench coat, I thought
hated
this
that.
is
She
so
hated
stupid."
that.
She
thought it
was out of
so
that shit,
stupid.
dude.
She's like, this is the dumbest thing. She's like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
10-year-old girl said, "This is really stupid."
It was perfect Benny Hinn. It was da 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 da. I saw
So, I mean,
Benny Hill.
the
I was
really,
I'm
like-
watching the Benny Hill show right now. It was so great.
The really easy question to ask yourself is like, if that show never happened, where would Kenobi be at the beginning of A New Hope? If that show never happened, Kenobi would be completely withdrawn from the Force. He would be a fucking useless old fishmonger, a piece of shit who doesn't know what to do with himself. And that's why it ruins continuity, is because you're having to interject a story where you're adding an arc that doesn't need an arc. Kenobi is the old wise wizard. He always was. That's the way it was, and it's the way it should be. And you just add in this shit where it's like, I work at the fish market, my dick don't work, but you know, this guy called me and he was like, fuck, I gotta save a daughter, I guess, or something, man.
by
So
the
he
way-
goes to discount Coruscant and fucking has a retarded Benny Hill chase scene to try to save a girl, and somehow finds the Force again, like he's fighting for his fucking gender.
Remember the
Ass.
fake Jedi,
Ass.
the Jedi con man that was like, "Hey, I'll help you get off the planet." Hey, how about Beskar, man? Like Beskar, that's a good point. In the prequels,
Oh,
at the end of the movie, Bail Organa tells Yoda, "We always want a daughter. We will protect her. We'll take her to Alderaan. Obi-Wan, you watch over the boy." And then he sends a message to Obi-Wan in the Kenobi show. Hey, Leia is just as important, if not more, than Luke, right? Totally messing up the canon.
He sends a voicemail. Bail fail. That's why I love
Yeah,
Bail fail.
Bail Organa was the worst, one of the worst parts of this series.
It-
It's like, oh, he leaves it on the ground. Everyone can find it. Bail fail. You know, it's like, what the hell is going on right
Mike
now?
has got it. The whole thing, the whole point of the show, make sure that he got that T-47 at the end there.
Yeah.
The whole point. That was the whole point of the show.
Hello there.
It's one of those things where if you look at the beginning of Kenobi and you look at the end of the Kenobi series, what changed?
Well, you just say Obi-Wan
Honest
was more.
question. No, seriously,
connected-
at the beginning of the Kenobi show and the end of the Kenobi series, like what
Kenobi's
changed?
connected to the Force. He's connected to the Force again.
Okay. Now, could you, in theory, enjoy episode 3 and episode 4 without watching that story?
Yeah. Well, I'll give you the answer to that. I do, and I will.
Well, many people have.
What was the
Oh, by
fucking
the way-
point?
And hey, let's tie this all back together. As bad as we're crapping on Kenobi, it got like double the ratings of Ahsoka. Like, put that.
Yeah,
think
because
about
people give a shit about Obi-Wan.
that. Right. And
It was
they
better.
were upset
It was better.
after. And it's dwindling with each series. Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett, Mando season 3, Ahsoka. It's doing this. The viewership is doing this.
Did you guys read the Kenobi book?
No.
I read one of the Kenobi books that was years ago.
So no, there is a Kenobi book that happens in the same time frame as the show. It's called Kenobi. It is effing incredible. It's awesome. Kenobi is like living in, the hut that Luke eventually finds him in.
Right.
Winds up, kind of in this town, and everybody's kind of like, you're kind of weird. Like, there's some weird shit going on. You do stuff, and we don't really trust you. The Tusken Raiders, essentially attack the town, and Kenobi like shuts all the cameras off and whips his saber out and just kills everybody. And he's trying to hide it. He's still the Guardian. He's the Knight, but he's in hiding. That's the cool part about it, is that he's still such a strong, such a gnarly protector of this little baby unknown force, Luke, who's here to protect him and hide him. And his struggle is hiding it from the people on Tatooine. It's not that I lost it and I don't know where to find it. It's that he's hiding it from the people that he's associating with. And I feel like that's so much more interesting than the shit that they gave us, where it's like, there's some retard whose dick don't work no more, working at the fish market. I just don't get these people.
And I have to say, X-Wing, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think he should have been still having his dick out swinging, right? He along with Yoda fucked it all up every which way from Sunday, and they are responsible for the ultimate failure of the Jedi Order. And so to say now he's there, doing my old, no, fuck that.
Well,
that.
Do you remember how awesome
he was? Obi-Wan Kenobi was one of the biggest failures of the Jedi Order.
But do you remember how inspired and stoked people were on Cal Kestis, that there was this Jedi who was hiding, working in the shipyards, right?
Oh,
and then all of a sudden this huge story comes about because he gets found out. That tension that created before, right at the beginning of the story, that was the majority of the book of Kenobi, is that he was trying to hide the shit. He was trying to hide it. And that tension, that incredible weight on Kenobi of trying to hide the fact that he's literally a fucking Grandmaster Jedi, like an absolutely incredibly powerful being, and hiding that on a place like Tatooine, that creates so much shit.
He's hiding it in Star Wars Rebels.
But was he really a Grand Master? Right? Just because he was given that title?
Yeah, Mace Windu said, "You're the best of us."
Well,
why the fuck do you think they sent him where they sent him?
Well, maybe they were wrong, right? He certainly fucked them big time.
You're trying to argue real Star Wars conversations. I'm trying to post this against Disney art conversations. Like, yeah, we can have the conversation all day whether or not Kenobi was the right guy to send to try to take down Anakin. No, I don't think you're right. I think they should have sent Mace to Anakin. They should have sent Kenobi against Palpatine. If I was going to flip it, that's how I would have done it. Having said that, dude, there could have been the most incredible story created. And I think that's what I'm getting at. I'm bitching. I've been bitching all night. I'm so upset. I fucking hate the way that shit has gone. Yes, they could have done something better, but it didn't happen. Why am I on YouTube? I don't know. It didn't happen.
Wow. I don't know where we got there. But I will say again, for the record, whether you agree with me or not, Kenobi was a failure as a Jedi. He was a failure. And whether or not Qui-Gon led him down the road of being a failure, whether it was circumstantial, okay, fine. Kenobi was an excellent general, right? He was a great Jedi warrior. But as a Jedi Grand Master, as a teacher, he didn't do it. Not only did he not do it, but he helped bring down the entire order. So I don't think, for me, that I expected to see him on Tatooine, trying to hide the fact that he was hot shit, because his shit was no longer hot. He was not.
He never wanted to be hot shit. All right, look, this all pours back into, can everyone become a Jedi? So the way I would round out this conversation is that we need the people who are going to be Jedi, the people who can use the Force. They need to be the knight. They have to be someone special. They have to be someone who embodies all the characteristics that we love. Let me get misogynist real quick. They have to embody all the shit that we love as men, the stuff that we love as men. They have to be noble. They have to be strong. They have to be all these different things. And so when you get a really whiny, bitchy, fucking not likable human being, and then now you gift them all of the powers that you've seen from these people who have worked since they were children to do a quarter of what she did in that episode, it's really upsetting, man. Like, it's like, well, fuck yeah. I guess just like Dave Filoni said, everyone can become a Jedi. Thoughts?
Well, at least Sabine trained more than Rey did, right? She trained with Kanan, right? I'm not
here's a dog turd and here's a human turd. Which one's better?
I'm not excusing, again, the way that it culminated with the whole pushing him and all that stuff, which I thought was totally plot convenient and really, really upsetting, right? But I am personally happier with Sabine realizing some amount of Jedi-ness than I am with Rey. That's the question I guess I'll put back to y'all. Between the two of them, Sabine and Rey, who's the more egregious Jedi adjacent? Which one of them is it?
That's a gross question. We'll answer it. But by the way, Wicked Virtue just became a member. My good friend, please add me on Xbox. I know you haven't.
She's got a good channel.
That's an inside joke that nobody knows. Actually, I shouldn't have said that. By the way, Wicked Virtue became a YouTube member. Let's do it!
Said clipped. I forget I'm on the fucking internet.
Yeah. I'm off track now.
You're way
She's got a
off.
good channel. Go check her channel out. If whoever's not subscribed, she's got a good channel.
Listen, do I skip you? Said I'm a Disney seal. That's the first time I've been called a Disney seal.
Disney Steel?
Yes, I don't know. It's okay.
Hey,
Okay, do you want to perk it up a little
seals.
bit? Let's maybe talk about some stuff we actually want to talk about.
Oh wait, we never answered the whole. Before we move on, you never answered.
No, that was the point. I didn't want to.
Oh, okay. Well, move on. Move on then. It's your show.
So, who's better, Rey or Sabine?
I didn't say who was better. I said who was the least egregious of this, of the whole. All of a sudden, you become a Jedi.
It's a loaded question. It's like, do you want to cut your dick off or cut your balls off? Like, which one's more important? One doesn't work without the other. I don't like either. I would say that Rey has more of a reason, or Rey has more of a right to use the Force and do what she's done than Sabine does.
Really?
I don't like either, but Rey absolutely has more of a right to do what she does with the Force than Sabine does, because you're talking about somebody who trained with the Skywalkers and is a fucking Palpatine. So in the shitty Disney world of writing, absolutely she should be able to do, crazy stuff. Sabine has no right doing fucking anything.
Sundowners, what do you think?
If I walk by 2 toilet stalls and neither have been flushed, I'll probably go find the sink. I don't walk into one of the stalls and go, you know what? This one's a little less shitty than the other one.
Oh God, he's not gonna answer.
There's a lot of shit in there, but one has
Rey.
less.
Rey is the better one because if we're going by the prequels with George, the midichlorian count, she's a descendant of Palpatine.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, but like, there's
That's
a little
what
bit
I'm
of
at.
science in the Star Wars world that George brought in. Even if you don't like the midichlorians, it's part of the lore of Star Wars. George put it in there. So according to that, Rey has the makeup DNA in her to be powerful right out of the gate.
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I get it 100%. We're picking between two turds here, and everybody's mad. Like, how could you say Rey? And I'm like, because the other option is fucking Sabine.
Yeah.
No, I think in this, a bit of a loaded question, right? But I think in this particular instance, it would have to be Rey.
Yeah.
So I'm with y'all.
So the problem is that you're presenting those kind of questions, Risman. Okay. All right. You're the problem here. The Emperor won. Thanks, Disney.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Pretty much. I wanted to share this tonight. It's a fan film. Now I may get taken down.
Is this the frog thing? I hate the frog.
Where it is the French frog one.
It's the French
It is the frog. I wanted to show this to you guys. Now, you guys can tell me that this is terrible. You're not interested. You don't like it. Yada, yada, yada. But I really enjoyed this fan film because I felt like it was a good bridge. First off, can you hear anything? You
can hear it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you guys are up for this one.
Sure. Play the fucking French.
So the way this thing starts out, hold on real quick.
He's in the archives. He's in the archives.
Hold up. Before we go anywhere,
Uh-oh.
King's Advisors just dropped 5 gifted memberships. Pull your panties up, kids.
Slipped. I forget I'm on the fucking internet.
My boy Kings. He texted me this morning. He was like, "Hey, you doing a late night tonight?" And I'm like, "Ah, shit, I don't know." He's like, "Well, if you don't want to do it, don't do it." And I'm like, "Fuck, now I really want to do it." Okay, so this is a French film. I don't know how to describe it. Just watch it. I love the way they did this. And they used John Williams, baby.
He kind of looked like John Williams. I thought it might have been.
Kind of looked like it. So the melted mask. So sick, dude. I love everything about this, dude.
Until they started talking, everything was good.
Shut up, man.
Don't move, Rebel. them and turn around.
Is it
Put down
French?
the- no.
Right now.
Hate it.
Harry, it's me.
Derek,
Pretty convincing, isn't it?
I love they put the little
No.
Ewok.
I could have
there.
killed you.
It was just a joke.
The music is done
Pretty
perfectly.
stupid way to die. Right after our victory.
You should stop walking on it. Join us.
Yeah. Let me just finish that. I'll be right there.
Leave your ship alone. Mine's resting and is doing just fine.
The relationship between a pilot and his ship. You never really got it.
Yeah. But in the last race, my spacecraft and I held the lead from start to finish.
And without cheating. Would you have won?
No.
I wouldn't call that cheating. It's all about piloting with
Oui.
balance.
It's
Moff,
You see,
Cassian
even
Andor.
the droid
French
agrees with me.
xenophobe.
Bullness indeed. Just think about the wreck you've made of your spaceship.
You've got me. But don't you dare
Why does
steal
he have
incriminating
a sweater
parts.
tied
I
around
know.
his face like a fucking...
That's for sure.
Can you shut the
I'm
fuck
not
up and
touching
enjoy
it,
the
Mr.
Seinfeld?
Directorial.
You can't make this. Look at how beautiful this is.
Morning, Emperor! Greetings from the rebels!
I love it. It's all the the fallout from the explosion. Leaves his imperial hat on.
I know, he leaves this rank hat on. He's going to take the hat off.
Like, there are problems.
And he's got
Why does he have a scout blaster?
He's got the Tiger Scout.
That's such a cool scene.
How
You got
could you
the,
agree
you know,
with the
an
biggest
imperial
hot tub in the
remnant looking
rebellion?
up the fallout of the Death Star.
I was
So
expecting
sick.
a little more support from my crew. I remember that. Yeah, I bet you see many things from your perk, those little fellow. Come on, stop babbling and display the flight report. I'd like to get this done before leaving. Are you looking for something? Captain?
You shouldn't have stayed here. Your rebellion is fascinating. Like this poor captain. You lower your guard as if everything was over.
As if everything was over. Okay, you got me on that
And
one.
maybe
Dude, it's so bad. It's so
we
bad.
restore the order of things. What have you done? It seems that I found a symbol far more powerful than any Death Star. Believe me, the Empire will rise from its ashes. But thanks to me, we'll escape what's coming. Nothing stands in the way of the Empire.
Project Cameron's got it, not the Imperial bag yet.
He's worse than stormtroopers.
Sacre bleu!
So fucking sexy. Oh. Music.
The music is the best part of this. The rest
100%.
The rest of it's for shit.
Yeah.
I would take this over Ahsoka.
I'm sorry.
Every
It's
fucking day.
premiered.
She meets these Ferrero Rochers. No.
And look, the guy showed up. He's like, "What the fuck did I miss?" It's like, way to be there.
Fuck you, Joey. I love this.
All Imperial forces. Commander Ega, aboard the shuttle ST-321. I managed to escape from Endermoon. And I'm in possession of a symbol that will allow the Empire to rebuild.
No one's listening.
Avoid dying.
Yeah. Either that or he's got bad hemorrhoids.
Lord Vader, this is not the end. Our Empire will be reborn.
In the First Order!
Nope, not even a mention of it.
Well, it's coming. It's the way the whole thing fucking ends.
What?
It has been an honor to serve you, Lord.
Come on.
And now it gets ruined. Ruined.
Did I leave too early or something?
You know how?
The
You
first
know
time
how
I
it
watched
ends?
this? Apparently not.
Who do you think? Who do you think comes for it, X-Wing? Come on, man. You watch it to the end? Really? What's the whole point? Who gets it? You didn't watch it to the end. I did. That's how Kylo Ren gets the fucking helmet.
The map to Skywalker. I know you found it, and now you're going to give it to the First Order.
Oh, Lord help. That
Dude,
made it that made it worth it. The fact that he didn't watch it to the end, Sundowners, that made it worth it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Hey, haven't you learned by now all roads lead to the sequel trilogy?
And that fan film proved it. Even the fucking French know that it's fucked
You
up.
stupid American.
Dude, it was.
Oh,
We call your state Nevada.
that's how he got the helmet. Good for you.
No, it's
Good for you.
Nevada. They call it Nevada. The Empire calls it Nevada. Oh,
That was
dude.
Stupid! He was all excited and didn't see the end of it.
You know, I
You cut it off before you cut it off before it even got to the end.
What's so funny is like right now I'm talking to the French guy and I was like, dude, I gotta have you on my channel. I loved it. It's so like it's so incredible, all this different stuff. They put Kylo at the end. I cut the fucking film off before Kylo showed up.
You did cut it off.
Oh, that's classic.
Loved it. That made it worth it. Me watching it,
yes,
for a second fucking time. That made it worth it.
Well, as soon as it floated, you go, "Did I not see the end of this?" And you go, "You don't know where this is going."
I didn't see the end of it. So good.
Gummit.
So good.
Okay. Well, I still think it's an awesome fan film. I still think it was really well done. I think they did a good job. You know, obviously they're very French, but gosh dang it,
you're gonna have to re-rank your trailers today based on where you would put that one before you saw the end.
Kind of makes me want to have a croissant, though. I can go for a chocolate croissant right now.
Pain du chocolat, you stupid son of a bitch. All right, do you guys want to watch some trailers?
Yeah, put them
sure.
up.
Throw one in the chat if you want to see some trailers.
Can't be any worse than that bullshit.
We'll go over the pop trailers. You know, it was so funny. I had this idea that we were going to like Star Wars, one other thing, Star Wars, one other thing. We've been Star Wars for an hour and 46 minutes at this point. But, dude, the trailers have been coming out like crazy today. I mean, like, I have been getting DMs. They're like, you need to watch this. Oh, boy. I think they want the trailers. Okay. So we're going to start with, because we don't have a whole lot of time left. We're going to start with one that I thought was going to pique my interest. Are you guys Halo people? Have you played Halo?
What Halo 2? But I thought the Fallout it was good. But I thought
we're gonna do Fallout. We're gonna do Fallout. Yeah. Don't worry. We're gonna do Fallout. But Halo. Did you guys watch season 1?
I didn't, but it's available now. If you want to watch it, it's available now on YouTube.
I watched a few of the episodes and then I tuned out. I didn't hate it, but I had other stuff pop up and I just never came back to it.
I mean, you guys weren't from the time frame where Halo was like important to you.
No.
Yeah. But I will say I see King's Advisors is here in the chat, and this is his favorite, one of his favorite series. So he's very, very happy that they're going to be season 2. Very happy.
I played Halo. Halo.
So yeah, when I was coming up and they had the first Xbox, I mean, Halo was like the coolest shit in the world.
He is so mad. He is so mad right now.
You were finally able to go, you know, basically wind up co-warriors in this battle. Season 1 did not impress anyone. And something Paramount was able to do, which is something that no other company has really been able to do other than Amazon, was they united a fan base, which was incredible. They united a fan base against their show, which was just beautiful to see. Season 1 didn't do so hot, but let's go ahead and do season 2 trailer. Here we go. Shouldn't have his helmet off.
I don't think I hear it.
No sound.
No, the volume's gone now. Yeah, the audio's gone.
Caleb may prefer that.
Yeah, he's going to be really excited. Share screen, share tab audio. Doop. All right, this should do it. Is it there now?
You deserve the truth.
Yeah.
The enemy is at our gates. Their numbers are overwhelming.
Okay, hold on. Anybody else get some old feelings here.
Yeah.
Anybody remember somebody else that did that?
Their numbers are overwhelming. Any Marine who makes this stand with us,
Everyone left. We lost 30 people.
not survive the day.
They didn't want to see this shit.
For every moment that we hold the enemy at bay, more innocent people can escape. When they
Looks
do,
kind of woke. I think it's woke.
they will go forth and tell the story that you write today. You will be remembered.
Woke.
It's all girls.
Yeah, it's woke.
In a genre that a lot of girls don't watch.
Mm.
That's set up for success.
What? Are you kidding me? What do you mean a
X-Wing's
genre
into
girls don't
it.
watch?
He's ready. He's ready.
I remember being in 6th grade and trying to talk to girls about Halo, and they were totally into it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Woke. You know what? It looks like it could be a fun watch. It's okay. Yeah.
That nothing in that trailer made me want to watch it.
I think there was shit in that trailer that made me want to watch it. Dude, look, it's the same thing as in Ahsoka when Anakin is like going ham. You know, you get that 5 seconds of holy shit, I remember my franchise, and you're really excited, and then the rest of it is just like a load of bullshit.
Look, if it's good, it'll be what happened with Picard season 3. The first 2 seasons were awful. I checked out, and then people said, you got to check out this 3rd season. It's really good. And I gave it a shot, and it was. If it's good, people will catch on, and they'll watch it.
I always go back.
I
Remember when I said that freaking pretty boy, what's his name? Who played the Joker?
Joaquin.
Heath Ledger. I remember when they said Heath Ledger was going to be the Joker, and I said, this is going to be the worst fucking movie I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And then I watched it, and I'm like, oh my God, it's the best Batman movie there is out there.
But it wasn't. Heath Ledger was good, but.
Are you about to say The Dark Knight was not good?
Please.
This is going to be your worst take ever.
Please.
Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going.
Spirian dropped in another $1.99, and Joey Ebbs, member for 1 month, says hotter Jedi, Rey or Sabine?
Sabine.
I'm going Rey.
Oh yeah, hotter Sabine. Yeah.
Sabine.
Oh, I'm going Rey.
Oh, come on, Sabine.
Dude,
Again,
her
Dog
forehead
turds
is
and cat turds.
bigger
Man.
than Lizzo's grocery bill.
Rey is absolutely hotter than Sabine. I know that you guys really love like the new progressive short purple haired chicks, but that's not me, bro. I'm not into that. You like that short hair fucking attitude. They listen to K-pop and shit like that. I'm not into those chicks.
I would expect her to just be quiet. She looks better.
You expect her to be quiet?
Yeah, I don't want to hear her say a word.
Fucking
I'll stick
never
that
gonna happen.
I'll stick that Loth cat over her face, and the rest is fine.
Rey has a better ass.
Oh no.
I'm just saying. I think Rey's okay. Hold on.
So Halo,
pre-cutting her hair to the fucking Karen haircut. Sabine.
Either one. I don't care. Either one.
Pre-haircut. Pre-haircut. I'm saying pre-haircut. Okay. All right. Next one.
We need Ronnie's mom's tuna. That's okay.
All right.
Oh boy.
Fallout. Let's go.
Yeah. This looks good.
I know that I've lived a relatively comfortable life.
That's her.
Stop! Mercy!
All right, hold up really quick. Before we go any further, can we just appreciate how beautiful the sets are for the show?
Yeah. Oh, it looks great.
I know that I've lived a relatively comfortable life.
Stop! Lucy! You need to go home. Vault dwellers are an endangered
That's
species.
gorgeous.
I do not think you would be willing to do what it takes to survive up here. If you insist on staying, then you will have to adapt.
I love him.
Uh-huh.
That's a big thing right there. Look at how
To me, the best
beautiful
thing about
that
the
is.
trailer is the music, by the way. So
but look
the
at how
music
pretty
they're going
it
to play
is.
now is so good. So good.
I mean, this looks good. I'm sorry.
Tomorrow, so they say, will be
Who's singing it? Come on now.
Yeah, but
can't
Risman,
beat-
that has always been
You can't
Fallout's
beat
thing.
him. You can't beat
You
him.
remember? Do you remember? I think it was Fallout 4. It might have been 3. Fallout 3 or 4 came out, and in the game preview it was, I don't want to set the world on fire. And there's fucking nukes going off in the background.
Yeah.
Like that's always been their thing. So I'm glad they kept that.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the franchise, but when for no other reason than I'm not a gamer, right? But when I saw this and I heard Nat singing, I'm like, all right, this looks okay. This looks
Yeah.
okay.
Tomorrow, so they say, will be a lovely day. A bright new sun will suddenly break through. But I don't want to see tomorrow unless I see it with you.
I grabbed a moldy one.
So weird. It's so weird. With you. Again, I mean,
Maybe. I mean,
Dude,
might-
that
it's on Prime.
fucking
I mean,
trailer-
it's
I'm
Prime
sorry.
is great,
That
right?
fucking trailer. So I've been a Bethesda fan since I was just a wee baby. Okay. And I love everything Bethesda puts out. I'm going to lose some subscribers here. Okay. This show looks like it could be fucking incredible. Here's the problem. It's Amazon.
yeah.
What's wrong with Amazon?
Oh, well, I don't know. There was a guy named Tolkien who made a book a little while ago, and then they made a show about him and his book and everything.
Well, but I have seen. I understand. Okay, I get it. But I have seen so many other things on Prime that have been really, really
Well,
good.
And the first two seasons of Westworld, Jonathan Nolan's doing this. And
Yeah.
he did good on the first two seasons of Westworld. Didn't want to.
I loved again, another shit take, but I loved every season of Westworld, right? So anything that Nolan's are doing, I'm there for it.
Yeah. I might check this out. This one would depend on what else is coming out at the time, and do you have time to watch it? That's kind of the category I put it in. Maybe.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything that made me think I'm not watching that.
I think
Like the
this
first
is going to
trailer.
be an amazing show for people who never played Fallout.
Yeah, that's me. That's why I'm like, I saw this and I'm like, I don't know nothing about it. I have no baggage. I have no barrier to entry. I'm like, I have time.
I can promise you they're gonna fuck up so much shit with Fallout lore that it's gonna piss people off who are Fallout fans, which, by the way, is a massive fan base. Fallout is Bethesda's bread and butter. I mean, that's the shit they make their money on. I know everybody thinks it's Morrowind and Elder Scrolls and Skyrim and shit like that. Fallout is their bread and butter. I think they're gonna lose a lot of people, but I think the show will be good. And the cool part is, I never played Fallout because dystopian post-nuclear worlds give me fucking anxiety. So all of my Bethesda games, I played as the guy with the sword and the shield that ran around in some weird fucking universe I'd never been a part of. So I'm excited for it. I think the production quality of that show alone, just in the trailer, is enough to give me pause. That shit looks good. It looks good.
Again, whether you like Rings of Power or not, Prime doesn't skimp, right? I mean, everything I've seen on Prime has been.
Lord knows they got the fucking money.
Yeah. Again, we're all paying now $179, whatever it costs, right? But I mean, that's why from I think in this one they were like from the company that gives you this, that, and the other, and free 2-day shipping, and they put the asterisk, and I just had to laugh when I saw that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Elder Scrolls is not their bread and butter, dude. If you look at what everything is Bethesda's put out, I mean, you had Oblivion, and then what happened after Oblivion? It was fucking Skyrim. There wasn't shit in between there. And I played Oblivion on the original Xbox when I was like fucking 10, and then I played Skyrim when I was like 19. There were 3 Fallouts in between that. Trust me, Fallout is their bread and butter. Okay, now we're gonna do House of the Dragon season 2.
That was a shit take.
I'm full of shit takes. Now, House of the Dragon.
I am the king of shit takes, by the way.
House of the Dragon season 2 is gonna be the next one coming, but really quick, I did want to pull this up here. Special Ray did pull up a $1.99 super chat and said, Chris wants the Naughty Wookiee.
We should play The Boys. Let's play The Boys teaser before you do.
We're going to do that. We're going to do that, but we have to watch this, and I'm going to go get my bottle of homemade wine before I do that.
No.
Hey, even Wookiees need a little love. Have you ever heard a Wookiee's fantasy? You don't want to make her angry. Or do you? Call now at 1-900.
Damaging as always. Thank you very much for that. All right, we're clear. Okay, so House of the Dragon season 2. I'm psyched out of my mind. So I haven't read the books. I don't know the story. Obviously, you're gonna be the expert here on this one. But what I do know is that this is the most violent, destructive, horrible, gnarly story that we're gonna get in 2024. Am I wrong?
No, not if they do it the way that the book tells it.
The book was written, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which they almost never do. Now, on season 1, how close were they on season 1? Like pretty good, like acceptable.
Yeah, they changed a few things in terms of casting, but okay, yeah, they stay pretty close to it.
All right, let's do this.
Errors were made in the hours following King Viserys' death. war be fought. Many will die. And the victor will eventually ascend the throne.
There is no war so hateful to the gods. It's a war between kin. And no war so bloody as a war between dragons.
So I'm like hyped out of my fucking mind for this. You put something in the trailer like there is no war so hateful to the gods as a war between kin, and no war as bloody as a war between dragons. I'm like, rack it up. Let's go. Let's do this, dude. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be an absolutely horrific, horrible struggle. Loads of like family drama is not the right word, but you know what I mean. You know, war between the clans, a bunch of power shifts and struggles, just exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's ultimately it's a story of power and greed and the inability of individuals to settle differences, and it costs their children and their children's children. It is something that goes beyond them generationally. And the thing about House of the Dragon season 2, someone said it won't be as good as season 1. I don't think there's any chance it's going to be better. It's written better. Season 2, you have major stakes. When you see a battle, it's main characters getting killed, dragons dying, alliances broken, betrayals. It is, there are real stakes of the characters that you care about when things happen.
So
people
do you
don't get
believe
shot,
it will be better than
stabbed.
the next season, or better than the first season?
I think it will be better than the first season.
I think so too.
Because this first season was setting the table. It was introducing you to the characters and to the political side of it. And season 2 is about, okay, now we're going to war.
Dude, you want to talk about a guy who knows this shit? I mean,
our
boy here knows his shit.
Well, George R. R. Martin, everything is innovation, not invention these days, right? In music and in writing. So he was inspired. Game of Thrones was loosely based on the War of the Roses.
Oh, what the fuck?
The Last of Us.
Why the fuck are you talking about The Last of Us? Oh, Nathan Emmert's in here. Hi, buddy. Good to see you, man.
So you go back into Anglo-Saxon and British history and kings and queens.
Yeah.
And George, he draws in, just like Tolkien has done, just like others. He plays within a medieval world where there's magic, but it's a medieval world, fictional world. But when you start talking about lineage, house names, the political machinations around that, and when you have to fight a war, you need money, you need alliances. Who controls certain areas of the geography are critical. Who controls the sea is critical, and trade. All that plays into Game of Thrones and especially House of the Dragon. So it's I'm stoked for it. There were things I wanted to see in the trailer that I didn't see, but I'm kind of like more excited that I didn't see them. Winterfell. I wanted to see Winterfell, but I'm going to be more excited to see it on the show.
I was going to say we don't. I was, I'm more of a casual on this franchise than obviously you are, Sundowners. But I was super stoked when I saw that teaser. I was like, I don't need to see. For me, I'm like, I know Winterfell. I mean, been there, done that.
Yeah, it wasn't
Right?
necessary.
But I'm like, what they showed there, I was like, wow, that really jazzed me up because the first season of House of the Dragon for me, it was fine, but it didn't blow me away.
Oh, I love that first season, dude. That shit blew me away. I loved that first season.
But Matt, were you ready when you were watching it? You were like, I want to get to what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's
season, what this is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
First episode, they're going to come out and go, you think you saw some shit in Game of Thrones? Watch this. Like, you're going to be like, if they show it, it's going to be like, you can't do that. Yeah, you can.
I mean, this whole basically, like you said, it was the introduction in the first season, but this second season is like, there's a whole reason there's not a fucking Targaryen line anymore. The reason why you don't have the dragon people anymore in Game of Thrones is because they fucking killed each other, and then some psychopath wound up on top.
Yeah, and
right.
When we watch Game of Thrones, they walk into the dragon pit, which is basically destroyed. It's a ruin. And you have Tyrion and others talking about, and Daenerys talking about, by the time the dragons were here, they were this size. They were starving. They were just, they were pet size. Like, how did that happen? Well, you're going to see. You're going to see how it happened.
Yeah, Toasted Geek pulls it up. Season 1 redeemed so many fans that were pissed at Game of Thrones. That's kind of where I was. And like, again, I didn't read the books, but even me as a casual fan, like when I got done with the end of it, I was like, man, this shit was so good for so long, and then what the fuck happened?
Hey, a novel concept. A writer that honors the lore of the creator. The casting of great actors, not necessarily super famous. Reese Ivans that plays Otto Hightower, as good as it gets on screen. Patty Considine is Viserys.
Dude, Patty,
Emma Darcy is Rhaenyra.
Patty deserves a fucking Oscar. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But Emma Darcy, I was concerned in season 1 when you had Millie Alcott who played a young Rhaenyra. She was so good, and I was like, man, they're gonna time jump 10 years in the first half of the season, and this girl who's done such a great job, now she's gone. Yeah. Within 10 minutes, Emma Darcy shows up on screen, and she's going into childbirth. She's running up the steps. You're like, I'm in. This is Rhaenyra.
I can do it.
Like, yeah,
I really did miss her though, as like a young.
Yes,
God,
yeah,
she was so good,
really good. But
So
Matt Smith,
Matt Smith. I mean, talk about a legend. But for me, the best and the worst parts of
wasn't he like a Doctor Who or something?
Yeah, of course. The best and the worst things about the first season was the actresses. We got invested, and they stopped, and then the new actresses, all that, but it still worked so well.
Risky.
Oh, hold on.
Totally risky.
I gotta grab somebody.
But still good. Still very good.
Look, very good. And this is a lesson here. Emma Darcy doesn't bring any personal stuff into it. She leads a life that, like, some of these people in Hollywood would be on interviews going, so this is who I am as a person, and I'm bringing this into the role because I don't think this is addressed enough. You don't hear any of that crap. She got cast in the role. She came in and she kicked ass, and people love her. Like, there's lessons in House of the Dragon. Like,
we have an addition here, really quick, just for the House of the Dragon shit.
Let's go.
Oh wait! Caleb is here too. Come on, what?
Yeah, look, I got a couple texts. I got 947 texts. It was like, bitch, let me on. Bitch,
he's like, why am I here?
Why am I not here? I gotta talk about this.
Well, I didn't show the trailer on my stream. I did screenshots. I didn't think I could show the trailer.
I might not be able to. I don't know. All right, Caleb, what's boiling inside of you?
Oh, I'm stoked. I think the shots of Vagar flying over look beautiful. The Bella on Moon Dancer looks incredible. I'm just Rook's Rest looks great. Everything's gonna be incredible. I can't wait.
So for those that don't know, Bela was the black girl that was on the dragon flying. Yeah. She screamed. She has a dragon called Moon Dancer, and And you mentioned Vagar. He's the giant dragon that was flying.
Vagar is the dragon that
kills and Rook's Rest.
And
we saw Vagar in the first season, right?
Yes.
He
killed Lucerys.
He killed the original writer, and then the young kid took Vagar.
Yes.
Yeah. Who was Aemond? We only saw one shot of Aemond in the trailer walking to the Iron Throne, but Aemond has the patch over his eye.
Yeah,
Rook's Rest, for those that don't know, that was they were out in a green field with all the soldiers. The battle, that's a big battle. It's called Rook's Rest. It has major ramifications for the future of what happens. So there's a few major battles and things that happen in season 2 that have ramifications, not just for what's going to happen to end the Dance of Dragons and the war, but future generations.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, we're 170 years before the events of Robert's Rebellion, and before the events of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, 170 because this is 130 AC.
Okay, well, since it's heading that way, boys, look, we've had a wonderful late night stream. We have done just God's work today. I'm talking about pop culture.
No, I killed the chat.
Oh, wait, it looks like there's a couple people that want to pop on, so we can open it to everyone.
Wait. Before did we do the boys? Do we do the boys? Let's do the.
We can do the boys. We can do the boys. You want to do that real quick, and then I'll open it up, and if people want to come in and hang out, and we'll just make it.
We
like
don't need
Hanger
nobody
Bay.
else on.
We'll make a Hanger Bay. If you're not interested, I know you got stuff to do tomorrow. You can pop out.
I'm just kidding.
He's giving somebody a hard time.
I'm giving you a hard time.
I'll continue to shepherd the young lads. All right, here we go. Share screen. Oh, we didn't get to do Rebel Moon.
Oh, fuck Rebel Moon. Let's do the boys.
That's where I'm at. I'm like, dude, I'm starting to not believe in this thing. All right, here we go. Let me take the music off. God, I love Homelander.
Greece. All democracies fail because people are fucking stupid.
God, I love this show.
Yeah.
But if you crush the masses, who builds your monuments? Who tongues your taint?
Who tongues your taint? Love it.
The people will tear it apart themselves. You just gotta nudge.
This is where Marvel needs to go.
Yeah.
Then you get to swoop in. Be the one
I can never get away with this.
Like Caesar.
Like
Caesar.
Don't worry. If there's hell below.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah.
Oh, hell.
Who wants their balls crushed?
Wait a
Who
second.
wants their bones
Wait a
crushed?
second. Hold up. I thought he was dead.
Nah. I guess nobody's ever really gone X-Wing.
Homelander killed him.
He finds him, doesn't he?
Yeah, Homelander fucking kills
he finds
him.
out that he knew.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
The only thing I know about this show.
The public doesn't know he's dead.
Oh, hell.
Who wants their balls crushed?
Your team. What's your code name again?
The boys.
Oof. Who came up with that shit?
Love it. I love it.
I'm
That
in.
was good. I watched
haven't
you
seen
all
it
watch
yet,
you
so-
all watch Gen V. I thought they did a great job with Gen V also. It was
I didn't
really
watch
good.
Gen V. No.
Oh, come on, you need to watch it. It was really good. Really good.
All right.
Project Cambrian, you're right.
Okay, I'm gonna put the invite in. If The folks want to show up and come say hi.
Is Daimyo going to show up? He should.
Oh yeah, 100%.
What do you think?
Yeah, Daimyo's going to show up. So 2 hours and 20 minutes into this thing, we're going to make it a hangar bay. Matt, if you got to leave, you're totally good to leave. Sundowners, if you got to boot, you're totally good to
look, he's there right away.
Let me in, please. Please let me
Turn
in.
the light on, dude.
Everybody else, if you're going to pop in the next 5 minutes, I'll be right back. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. But I'm going to put a little bit of tunes on, and I will be right back.
Every single trailer except for Hot D was woke. Everything was woke. Everything's bad.
It was woke.
There's nothing good that's coming out except for Hot D.
There's so many of those trailers that I feel like this last round of trailers we've gotten like the last 3-4 months, I feel like they've kind of decided, we shouldn't put the message in the trailer. We should put it in the show, but we need to get people to watch the show.
That's what I think's happening. At least for what's it called?
Fallout.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only one. I'm joking about the rest of them. I am skeptical with Fallout just because how Last of Us went, and that was just disastrous.
Did we watch the Furiosa trailer? That was a good one.
Oh,
I cannot stand that movie.
I heard Caleb's
Come on, we gotta watch it.
I hated Fury Road.
I might start calling Caleb Furiosa. He kind of is a Furiosa, right?
Oh no.
Yeah. He's got the temper of a Furiosa.
Yeah, his temper is legendary. That is true.
Let's see. Do I have any power? Any power? What can I do? No.
We've got the same power, bro.
I like Mad Max though. The Mad Max stuff is good.
What Fury Road? I hated it. I thought the editing was crap. The way that guy went on about. I had my wife edit it because I knew if a guy edited it, it would just look like any other action movie. And she wins an Oscar for that shit. Was just bullshit. Sorry, was that me?
So they're already saying people that got the screening of Rebel Moon are saying that they cut away from some of the violent shots to have a PG-13 rating. So we're gonna get a Snyder cut.
No, he's already said it.
He's already said it. I think it's 4 or 5 hours, 4.5 hours or something.
Oh gosh.
He said they let me do it. I've got my R-rated cut. It'll be available. I'm not making it up, right? He did. On the video behind the scenes video that they did, he said, they let me do my thing and it's available and I understand why they want to put it on and blah blah whatever. I'm like, yeah, fuck off. Who cares?
It just seems like a grift to me. Do your movie. The movie you release is the movie, not hey. I hate it before movie comes out when he does this. Snyder does this. I've got another version that's going to come out later. Well, then why do I need to spend the money to go see the first one?
Yeah. I get really annoyed when
I think you're right, Matt.
Shit, what was I saying?
Yeah, no,
no
one's going to see it. I mean, it's
a Netflix.
Do you guys see that funny statement he made about he came out, I think he was doing an interview or something, it could have just been the headline, but they were like, Snyder has officially come out and said that the Snyderverse is dead. It's like, no shit, Sherlock.
I remember what I was going to say. It was about Snyder and the Snyderverse. My favorite thing is if you've been following this lawsuit between Netflix and him as a party, and then the company that was supposed to develop this tabletop RPG, they've got parts of the original contract between Netflix and Zack in the complaint. And the hubris of Zack Snyder is fucking off the charts. This guy's like, I've got the Snyder fans behind me, and I promise that a good chunk of them will show up. And in order to really tell the whole story of Rebel Moon, we need to create this tabletop RPG game that's going to bring in a bunch of fans. It's like, first off, the tabletop RPG niche is already a niche. You're going to create a Rebel Moon tabletop RPG that's going to be a niche of a niche. That's also going to be a niche of a niche of a niche because it's you. And you think that's going to bring in millions of dollars?
Where's is X-Wing? I found it. Is X-Wing here? Because I think we should watch him talk about what I was just saying about his PG-13 versus R-rated. I can't share it if X-Wing's not here though.
So Rebel Moon is only coming on Netflix. They're not releasing anything.
Yeah.
No, it is being released.
Limited time.
Is it?
Yeah.
Very limited. Very limited.
So what?
I don't like that
New
either.
York?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, Caleb, the usual 2 or 4 places.
Yeah, LA, New York, somewhere in Florida, probably, or Atlanta.
So I've talked to how do I word this? I've talked to someone who writes books, and their stuff got optioned and made into a Netflix movie, and not during the theaters, right? You get straight to Netflix, kind of like Red Notice, something like that.
Yep.
And
hopefully better than Red Notice, by the way. But
I said, like, why didn't they just, film it and put it out in theaters? Because you had 2 good names. You had some good names in the movie. And he said when we initially did the deal, that was what they were going to do. And due to COVID and some other states, so they changed it up. And I said, well, did you have it in the contract? I mean, how did that work? And they said that they paid him something and redid it to say, look, we're doing it on Netflix only. So he got some sort of
bought out a portion of the contract.
Yeah, they paid him some more money and they redid it and they said, this is the only way we can put it out. It's not going to go in the theater now. And so it was just weird how they do these movies that someone like Zack Snyder obviously is going to know before he starts filming or commits to it. We're going to release this in the theater for a limited time. He's got all that pre-negotiated because he's Zack Snyder. But I just don't understand the whole. You're telling the public this is coming out for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks in the theater, and then going straight to Netflix. Don't you think most people are going to be like, well, then I'll watch it in 2 weeks?
Where is X-Wing at? I really want to play. I really want to play this video.
Where's the bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, help!
It's a longer potty break.
Why don't you have powers on this channel, Matt?
Daimyo, turn the light on.
I know. I said the same thing.
Light is on.
It's darker there than it is.
You guys can see my face. I can see my face. You guys can see my face.
No, it needs to be more light on.
Okay, Caleb, why don't you turn your camera on and maybe I'll think about putting a light on.
Oh, ouch.
Don't tell me how my thing looks.
Because I'm not dressed for camera work.
Oh, Lord.
All right, Nikki.
Caleb, you got to move the Jergens bottle out of camera shot.
Yeah, get the tissues
Oh,
out of the
no.
way. Get the tissues out of the
Oh,
way.
no.
Did you guys ever see that video where the guy, I don't know if it was real. He was on Zoom with like people in his company, and he said,
"Oh yeah."
He goes, I'm gonna leave the chat of the video of the meeting when they said, "Okay, Todd," and so he thinks he turns the camera off and he goes and gets lotion and tissue. It had to be fake, right?
100%.
We hope it was fake. We hope
he pulled a tubing. He pulled a tubing.
So bad.
Oh my
The guy
God.
from CNN, he pulled a tubing.
Well, it's like the BBC person that she was giving her little 5-minute interview, and she had 9-inch dildos sitting on her shelves behind her.
Supposedly that was real.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't doubt that over there.
No, I'm not talking about the dildo. I'm talking about the video. See, this is what happens when you watch any content around the boys. You just automatically go to, because anybody that hasn't seen Gen V, you think the boys is dirty and R-rated.
Gen V was over the top.
It was crazy.
Dick for Gen V.
Man, I was trying to explain to a friend of mine. He was like, should I watch this or whatever? And I was like, I don't even know how to explain to you what I just saw.
And by the way, speaking of another great series that I love, Reacher got renewed for season 3 before season 2 even came out. So
Yeah,
about a great,
and I'm stoked.
great
Season
one.
2 starts in 13 days, and I'm really excited. The 3 series drop, or 3 episode drop on day 1.
That was a good season 1.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of changes, but it's one of the when you're going from book to TV show, there's stuff you got to change because changing the medium and stuff like that.
Yeah, a little deep cut is the guy playing Reacher, Alan Rickson.
Yep.
He played AC. They didn't call him Aquaman, but he basically was Aquaman in Smallville.
Yes, he did.
12 years ago.
I never watched Smallville. I didn't know that.
Probably it may have been his first acting gig. Tom Welling, Michael Rosenbaum, he played Arthur Curry or AC, but I guess due to the comics and the contracts, they couldn't call him Aquaman.
Oh wow!
So he was brought in probably midway. There was 10 seasons. He came in like season 5 or 6. So 2006 maybe. May have been his first acting gig, but he's Reacher.
Yeah, he's so much better than Tom Cruise was.
Oh my God, there isn't even a comparison.
He's a foot taller
between the two.
And Reacher's already supposed to be like 6'10", 6'11". He's supposed to be like 280 pounds on the light side.
He's not 5'7"?
He's a fucking monster.
What? He's not your height.
He's not 5'7"? He's not.
No.
He's not He's not a Scientologist.
Here you go, Matt.
Here goes Sundowners with the photo.
Yeah.
And then you guys went and had lunch with him after, right? That was the story, Sundowners.
No, he said we could go to the craft services, so we ate at craft services. But that's Tom Cruise, 1993, filming The Firm.
Cool.
And he was 5'6", 5'7". He's short.
So it's funny that he played Arthur Curry, Aquaman, in Smallville, because a couple years prior to that, he voiced Aquaman in the Justice League New Frontier movie.
Oh, cool.
That may have been how he got the job.
Mm-hmm.
Smallville. Someone said Smallville was meh. For its time, Smallville came out It came out right before 9/11, and it was the launching of. It was the CW. It was the launching of a network, and so it had a little bit of a teen camping into it.
He's back.
I think
Voldemort.
Let's play this. We were talking about Zack Snyder.
Rebel Moon.
Yeah, we were talking about Zack Snyder, and this is him talking about PG-13 versus R or whatever. I think it's worth it. Let's play it.
With Justice League as the sort of quintessential insane journey to a director's cut. And, I don't know that story is ever really going to be told in its entirety, but it's a microcosm for like kind of what I was able to achieve with this film, but with everyone's eyes wide open and everyone really like kind of into it.
Okay.
Star Wars in '77 was a very, it was seminal for me and for culture. It just really made me want to make movies, first of all, but also just that it transports you to another world, to another galaxy in this case. In the fall of '77, I got a movie camera and I made a bunch of stop action animation films with my Star Wars figures. And that continued for quite a while, for a couple of years.
Sounds familiar.
From then, I was pretty much interested in making my own sci-fi film.
I was given memories of a world I will never see. Loyalty to a king I cannot serve. And love
Is that Anthony
for a
Hopkins?
child
Yes, he's playing the fucking robot. I hate that. I hate that.
What do you think they want?
Woke.
Sophia was she a super obvious choice? For me, she was. She obviously, I think dramatically for me, really nailed what I was looking for from what Cora is. Just her has a sort of dark history. She's on a redemptive journey. She needs to be vulnerable but tough. It's a lot of
Whoa.
it's tough. It's a complicated part. I knew immediately that her sort of dance experience, her understanding of choreography, her understanding of her body and all that was super evident. My mind was blown by what she was
Lesbian
able
dance
to do.
theory is the
Her
one thing I look
work
for in
ethic,
my
her
leads.
dedication, her in the movie. It's 99.9% her. I love working that way when I have an actor who can do the fighting. I'm not trying to hide anything with the camera. I can just film the fight. So she was really just an amazing partner and an amazing realizing of what that character could be for me. And I really
it's not a
hope
trailer.
when audiences see it, they understand what you see is what you get. You know, it's all Sophia, and thank God for
Here,
it.
pause it, make your point, because I can't hear you.
There's a difference between justice and revenge.
There is a price to pay for your defiance.
How many windows do you have open?
Enough.
I don't like making ensemble movies, although I've only made ensemble movies. 99% of the films I've made are ensemble. I don't know why I do that to myself, but I seem to just be addicted to making ensemble films. Dawn of the Dead, Watchmen, 300. Put a team together and go do something. Maybe
Drop
it is
that
my
news, Brandy.
comfort
Good to see
in
you,
that
bro.
arena that really attracted me to this Dirty Dozen style story. Being able to find a character to puzzle piece in to each of the roles and to make a cohesive team is something I felt pretty comfortable with. And yes, of course, my Justice League experience, Watchmen experience, those DC properties that are all about a team, those really paid huge dividends, I think. And not to mention the fact that, you know, I've constructed and deconstructed sort of that hero's journey. And so I kind of see it from both sides, and that's helpful.
You and I both know fear. Let's show them that we're not afraid. Let's show them we are more than the shackles that bind us.
The hippogriff.
You know, it's a movie, it's a motion picture. You know, so that part of it, the picture taking is not to be taken lightly. And it's really, for me, they are the same. When I went to make Army, it felt cathartic for me to photograph the movie as well and lose myself in some ways and sort of get busy with the photography of the movie. Really became super immersive and really intense. And I really liked that. Even though there's visual effects in it, we were tricking a lot. You know, there's a lot of very organic photographic style, you know, the dream lenses and the skinny focus and the handheld. Then having to really do this insane technical exercise of then relighting everything with green screen, shooting Tig, inserting her into each scene, lit exactly as we did on the day with flashlights and like, so it was an incredible technical exercise that I really had a fun time dissecting. I do have a pretty technical brain.
Risman,
when
can
it
you
comes
roll
to
that back
stuff.
about 30 seconds?
The fun thing was, for a while we talked about shooting a lot of it on the volume. So
we really have to look at her again?
Minimal lighting. So it was an incredible technical exercise that I really had a fun time
Zack.
dissecting. I do have a pretty technical brain when it comes to that stuff. When we came to make this movie, the fun thing was, for a while we talked about shooting a lot of it on the volume. So there was that exercise. And then we ended up just building this giant village. Now it was like the best of both worlds. You know, it was like this big organic set that was real and that was in big wheat fields that we were filming, and all very kind of tactile, as well as being very comfortable going onto a giant green screen.
Yep.
I totally get what he's saying, 100%, and like I 100%, I get what he's getting at, and I totally understand what he wants, and I 100% like believe in his vision. The problem is what he's fucking talking about and what we're gonna see on Netflix are two completely different fucking things. Okay,
and that's where we're getting.
Have we not learned that yet?
There. It's like in the last 3 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Go, Sundowners. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go.
No,
go.
This guy, like these girls, he cast these girls because, you know, they could, I'm sure they could whip his ass, but that's not the measure if they should be a lead in an action movie. I mean, this guy's as gay as the day is long.
Someone clip that too.
Dami, you got something you want to say before I unpause it or no?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Keep it rolling.
Screen set and building a big environment world that just wasn't there. That I'd be like, okay, guys, don't worry. There's going to be a giant thing over there. There's going to be a spaceship over there. There's going to be a monster over there. So trust me, it's going to be amazing. Let's go. For me, when I'm the director of photography, the relationship becomes even more intimate with the production, with every aspect of the movie, even the actors. Because what happens when I'm operating the camera and the actor is acting for me, it's a much different relationship than being behind the monitor, behind a tent, kind of far away. And I'm like, okay, that was cool, whatever. I don't know where you are, actor, you're over there somewhere, but that was great. Let's go again. And here's a note or whatever. Where is when I'm operating a shot, we're going to go down to grab the thing or hide behind the rock. I'll go with you. We'll go together to try and shoot your space gun over this shoulder, whatever. It's just much more intimate. And I don't need to go back, and it doesn't go before the committee. I don't need to ask the DP. I can make all the adjustments, and it's quite a different experience.
The time has come for all that you love. Protect each other and show them no mercy.
I like Jamin Hansu.
Who among you is willing to die for what you
Is
believe?
that the guy from Gladiator?
I've written the script, of course, in a vacuum, just as I would,
incredible.
With my normal sort of aesthetic. It's a very hard R, very sexy, violent,
hard
crazy. Everything's at 11. Sort of believing in my mind that when I came to the production, I would just be able to kind of collapse it onto a more
into the hard
sort
R's.
of broader audience adventure. And I think what happened in my conversation with Netflix, they were always like, would there be any way to go back to your original sort of subversive R-rated version? I was like, yeah, that'd be great. And they go, then we could have you could do your thing, and we could have that as a separate piece of content. Because my old relationship was kind of with DVD back in the day. So I would make a movie for the studio, and then my relationship with DVD would be like this. I'd kind of be done with the theatrical division.
I literally can't fucking stand
and I would just talk to DVD about hey, if you guys give me a little extra money, I can get you a weirdo version of the movie that you can sell again. And when people started to get to know me and get to know that director's cut, there was always something in it that they weren't going to get from the theatrical version. Then that started to become endemic of what I do. And, you end up with Justice League as the sort of quintessential insane journey to a director's cut.
Is that your peak?
That's I don't know that story is ever really going to be told in its entirety, but it's a microcosm for kind of what I was able to achieve. Did this come out
before the Snyder cut?
But with everyone's eyes wide open and everyone really kind of into it. Look, and I'm super proud of the PG-13 version of the movie. I really am. I think it's really fun and it's clean and cool.
So now again, he's
advertising a Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's now saying, I'm super excited about the PG-13. You'll hear what he says next. He's like, but the R version is my version. Right?
You know what?
It's
all right.
totally Zack Snyder.
You kind of have to respect the hustle.
Yeah.
Because he is a YouTube grifter to the nth degree.
He is.
Well, because he didn't. This is gonna be shocking for some folks in the chat. I get it. But he didn't quite make it as a theatrical guy, right?
Yeah.
And so now he's like, I gotta maximize and rebuild myself as he's a consummate professional. I'm not trying to disrespect Zack Snyder for what Zack Snyder is, but he didn't quite make it, right? And that's why he's now on the Netflix gig.
Yeah.
All right, real quick, we got to add somebody into the stage here. They got something to say. What's up, man?
Greetings, mortals. It's been a while. Rissman, I come in peace.
What's up, Ghost Rider? Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on shitty hotel internet, y'all. All I want to say is that Alpha Core is getting sent out on Monday. It was written by Chuck Dixon. If you've not checked out Rippaverse and the new world that Eric July is building with these characters, it's definitely worth a look. The next release after Alpha Core is Yara, written by the Saska sisters. They're really into like horror. If you don't know the Saska sisters, you can check them out on X / Twitter, whatever the heck we're calling it these days. These are awesome writers. And the story Alpha Core is basically superpowered cops solving a mystery. So if you're into that kind of thing, definitely check it out. I think this goes till January 20th. Like, you still got 2 months left on this campaign, but these covers are going fast for Alpha Core. Yeah, go check it out, y'all.
Wicked. Thank you, brother.
All right, let's good to see you, Ghost Rider.
Well, thank you.
Let's hear the rest of this because we're almost there. Look what he says next.
But again, just the sort of weirdo darkness of the R-rated version. If that was sort of my original thesis for what the movie could be, that's what we did. That's what we made in the R-rated version.
So again, he said, oh, the R-rated version, that's the one.
Well, that's the one, you guys. The one that they're putting out is not the one you should pay money for, because my idea.
So this is a guy that literally has his own con, right? Like, name one other creative that does that. Like,
he's running his own. Well,
he has a Snyder con. It's called the Snyder con. Like,
if I'll be honest with you, the guy who did it better, his name was George Lucas. He said, instead of me going to a company and having them make a movie I don't want them to make, I'll make my own fucking company.
Yeah, well, this guy downright kind of failed, in DC, and then now he did his whole Snyder cut for Justice League. He's doing a cut for this. It's a little disingenuous, in my opinion.
I don't get why we let people, and this might be kind of a gatekeeping thing, but I don't get why we let people
gatekeep. Please,
he is a gatekeeper's daimyo.
I don't get why we let people talk like Snyder and invented the director's cut.
I'm not even saying that, though. I mean,
but like, there are people
his is the only one that actually ever got any kind of real massive Hollywood attention was his Snyder's cut, or his director's cut.
I think that has something to do with
how. Fair, you gotta go all the way back to the ones that got the real Hollywood attention, being the extended editions of Lord of the Rings. Those were Peter Jackson's director's cut.
But I think the real thing to look at with the Snyder cut was the kind of failure of the Schneider. But it was kind of the failure.
Snyder. It's Snyder.
Okay. It was the failure of the Justice League in theaters, right? And it wasn't. He had that drama with his daughter that, I think she was in the hospital or something, pretty sick. And so, yeah, it didn't do well. It was edited completely differently than how he wanted it. So then he goes and releases this, and, his kind of cult of fans like adored it, right? And I watched it. It was like, I didn't mind it as
it was pretty long.
Yeah, it was long. It was definitely long. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
I thought it was better than the version they put out.
One.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I see a dog turd and then I see a dog turd and there's a little bit of fucking gold flaking on it, I'm like, yeah, that one looks better than the other one.
For sure.
But I don't think, for me, Zack Snyder is not all that in a bag of chips, right?
But you better not tell that to the Zack Snyder fan
I know.
base for Zack Snyder.
I know.
I got annihilated.
There's a few of them in here.
I'm not trying to diminish him as, a directorial professional, because he knows what he wants to do and he does it. And if he's given the latitude, you'll get Zack Snyder at his best, right? But I don't. For me, I just don't think it's that great. It's fine.
Lies. Lies. Pure lies that you're putting on the internet right now. You are out of your fucking mind. If you don't think Peter Jackson's extended cuts didn't add anything to the story. What?
If the story of the movies is Frodo's journey,
don't ever grace my screen with $1.99 again with language like that.
Oh no, Special Ray.
If the story of the Lord of the Rings movies is the story of Frodo going from Hobbiton to Mordor, then to the Grey Havens. He's right that the extended cut doesn't really add to that. But what
to the Frodo story
is it adds to the story of everybody else.
Yeah, which was the important part. Fuck the Frodo story. I don't give a shit about the Frodo story. I'm sorry. I care about the other characters.
The Frodo story is much better than the books. If you haven't read the books, read the books.
I need to read the books. I haven't read the books. My brother's going to shoot me in the face right
have
now.
someone
But I
read
haven't
them
read
too.
the books.
You can get them on Audible. The reader is very good.
I'm going to tell you right now, I didn't know for the longest time that there were extended cuts of the Lord of the Ring trilogy. And I sat down because I'm really busy during summer at my job. And I watched all of the extended cuts of Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, this is what should have been in theaters.
And your life has changed forever.
There were questions that were like, oh, shit, that's why. That were answered.
And by the way, just to give a shout out to a favorite of mine, all the extended, the extra features on those Lord of the Rings, the DVDs.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Robert Meyer Burnett did all of them.
Robert Meyer Burnett did 2 of the 3. I forget which 2, but he did. He only did 2 of the 3.
Yeah,
Reeves.
Or at least IMDb credits him with. I should say.
Reeves,
And
my
he,
guy.
and he lived
my guy.
there. He lived there in New Zealand and did all that stuff for a long time.
So we just got to hit up Reeves.
Reeves never
We gotta-
seen it. Oh no,
We got to hit up Reeves real quick. Okay, look. Here's the deal.
Oh, what happened?
If you're here on this channel, and you clearly see a bunch of guys who have love for like really good stories that have been told in history, like you have to do this. Like you have to do this.
Yeah,
it's one of the greatest stories ever told.
It is.
Tolkien.
It's a must read.
Tolkien. It's so amazing what he did because he basically said like our history got wiped out. When those asshole Saxons came in and
66.
the Normans basically said we don't have history anymore, so
I
I'll
mean,
make our own. And
so
dude, he
So
wrote the most incredible story in the world, man. And you have to. So watch the movies, read the books, watch the extended cuts, and then come back.
And then
we'll see you in like a year and a half because it's gonna take a while.
Rings of Power also amazing.
Yeah, Rings of Power.
Yeah, watch Rings of Power.
I love this
It's
guy.
incredible.
It was so
I never
good.
want to hear him speak
And,
again.
and we have season 2 coming out soon.
So far up your
X-Wing. I have a one that Damia wanted me to play this trailer.
This is a lie.
He wanted me to play this trailer, so I have another trailer. We need to play this trailer.
This is a lie. I don't even know what he's pulling up.
So very excited about this.
Another trailer.
Oh, is this the Furiosa? Is this the
Yes,
Caleb
it's
movie?
so good. It's so good. Both he and Kayla are really want.
I mean, most people I've talked to have been like, "Yeah,
What did you just call me?
Kayla, I played it. It's here.
It's a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be."
Bitch.
All right, X-Wing, you can share it when you get a chance.
You really don't need to.
I know.
You really don't need
good.
to.
It's good. It looks like a fun watch.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's definitely.
It's like a fun watch. Come on, put it up now.
Hey,
please don't.
Hey, Matt, did you know that Anna Taylor-Joy that is playing Furiosa? They're saying that when they were looking at the dailies of her shooting this movie, and it's so impressed the Broccolis. She may be the female Bond.
Yes. If X-Wing would only share it, we could see it all together.
I don't want to fucking put it on the screen.
I know you are trying to piss me off, but you have no idea how angered I am right now. I'm actually shaking.
This is why you're.
Please share it.
Yeah,
I'm actually shaking.
This is why you're Furiosa, Caleb.
So now I have your phone number.
Share it. Share it.
Caleb, how pissed would you be if Anna Taylor-Joy was Bond?
That would be hilarious.
All right, fine.
Have you ever heard the phrase "suck start your own pistol"?
There we go. Look at how good this
Whatever
is.
you have to do.
Come on, George Miller.
However long it takes.
This looks good.
Look at how good this is.
Promise me you'll find your way home.
That's a little bit like Baby Ridley. Okay.
Furiosa, Give me this promise.
Oh, no, that's not right.
I love you, X-Wing.
On her way home, all she needs is a sugar daddy. Get her home.
She needs a shower too. Her honesty. Thank you, Pierce.
Who is Stefarosa?
Ladies and gentlemen,
Lady and
start your engines.
Pandarosa.
Oh yeah, we can fix her.
Matt, stop. I do like the music. I won't lie.
Yeah, they got the music right. It looks good. It looks pretty.
Makes me want to break out into a shaka.
And what?
I'm Furiosa!
The dark.
I'm Furiosa!
Look at that trash ending. Close her eyes when she figures shot.
Do you have it in you to make it epic?
Black
Look how
face.
fierce she looks. All 90 pounds of her.
Yeah.
Black face. She's in
One
black.
word.
Remember her.
One
Remember
word.
her.
Empowering.
Chris
So,
Hemsworth's like 230 stacked. He's looking up at her like,
Remember her. Remember her.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, this is the character from Mad Max Fury Road that was played by the
Charlize Theron.
much hotter Charlize Theron.
Who couldn't
and
get
this
along
is her.
for 5
This is
minutes
her
with Tom
prequel,
Hardy.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caleb
And
loves that movie.
she's gonna show us all about this world, this decrepit world of all these strong men who have learned how to survive, and she's gonna tell us all what it means to be a woman in that world.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't wait for that to be the music they're playing, like as the big convoy that's like chasing down Furiosa. There's gonna be the guys with the guitars and the fire going off, and it's gonna be like, my body, my choice, my body, my choice. It's gonna be
I'd rather
incredible.
tongue that female ape that you just showed than watch that movie.
I only played
Whoa.
that trailer because Daimyo and King's Advisors asked me to. So
Okay, can we really honestly actually take a look at the because this is something I wanted to talk about with Star Wars fans. I feel like this is important, man. I mean, we have in front of us a project. This is why I think it's important. We have it in front of us, a project.
It's
Somebody who said they wanted to be in Star Wars. And by the way, his wife was like, thank God you weren't in Star Wars, because they would have never let you make what you wanted to make. So let's just make that abundantly clear. By the way, this is exactly what he wants. Let's just watch
this again.
When I found
Yeah.
the wreckage of that ship,
gross.
I considered leaving you. I was afraid you could bring trouble to us.
It's Ray with smaller tits. I'm not gonna lie.
Also, was that Grandmaster Pycelle?
Maybe, yes.
I mean, this shit looked cool though. Like, it looks good.
What do you think they want?
Maybe Game of Thrones characters in this movie.
What do they?
It's very.
What do they want?
But I have to say before you unpause it, it's very interesting because the teaser they put out was all about Anthony Hopkins as the robot right?
It was very
was about
different
that.
than the
And
first
in
official trailer.
In this trailer, you see him for a split second.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's kind of weird.
I feel like it was a bait and switch with the teaser because I watched the teaser and I was like, okay, well, this looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I got
all of the hype material. All of the hype material had this. All of the hype material had this as a genuine story we're all going to be excited about. There's going to be a bunch of good stuff going on. And then you watch this trailer and it's like,
nah.
Ray!
Yeah, exactly.
Everything.
It's woke. That's woke.
I'm a child of war.
Not a threat.
And I'm wearing overalls.
The space Nazis really.
He's so creative. They're wearing Nazi
You're
uniforms.
delusional. You think the
Idiot.
soldiers will show them mercy?
This should be the hallmark for Zack Snyder.
You're delusional.
You're delusional. That's right.
Yeah.
I didn't look too cool.
He's one tough bitch.
Yas, queen.
Yes.
He is better than
I'm a
Black.
child of war. I find warriors to fight with us.
We might stand a chance.
So fucking woke. Woke.
So again,
Put a chick in it,
I know,
make it
you're-
lame and gay. We got it.
You're
We got
probably just being fucking Rissman, but legitimately.
I'm a child of war.
So this whole fucking story
like
is going to
Rollo.
be based. This whole story
it. Is that Rolo? It is Rolo.
is nowhere near enough hair.
You can't remember.
This whole thing is going to be based off of a girl who was a child of war. Why are you so good at what you do? Some stuff happened before the show happened, so I'm really good at this.
I find warriors to fight with us.
We might stand a chance.
That is quite so.
We're searching for soldiers for a fight against the Mother World.
The mother world.
I could help you. For a small fee, obviously.
Obviously.
He is
Irish
wasted
accent?
on this show.
Uh-huh.
This man is wasted on this show.
Yeah.
He is incredible.
You may want to hold on.
I'm here to make you an offer. To give you a chance at redemption.
We are beyond redemption.
What about revenge? This isn't just pursuit of revolution.
I found her. The most wanted fugitive in the known universe. The known
Even the
universe.
even the Nazi adjacent guy doesn't look good. Well,
I was just
fuck
about to
that?
say. Where is he?
He's up there.
I found her. The most wanted.
This guy. Really?
It's Ajax from Deadpool.
Well, look. I mean, Zach wanted to put somebody in there that looked like someone from the Village People. You know, he's gonna do like
could you literally stereotype a motherfucker anymore other than this?
I mean, I don't.
What do you want to make him look like? Do like a Russian hat from like 1943, and then put a bunch of gold on it, and then stick it in like I don't know, 470-38. I don't know.
Yas.
It's Warhammer.
Yeah, he looks.
He's got He's got eyeliner.
He's got eyeliner.
Wanted fugitive in the known universe.
There's the slow motion 300.
It's a new age for the universe.
The lawsuits are going to be beautiful.
I think
so. You know what I'm more excited about? My story.
I'm more. I mean,
not gonna lie to you, man. I mean, I got a guy who exists in an existing universe who goes through a trial and has to overcome things in his life, and like, is that so fucking hard? And Zack Snyder's like, put a fucking chick in it, make it gay, and then what do you think about a giant fucking spider? And then, by the way, because fuck Lucasfilm, let's make some weird gay lightsaber-esque looking stuff, and then also Rebellion because duh, that's gonna sell. Like,
and let's put Anthony Hopkins
as a robot.
Sir Anthony Hopkins, one of the most consummate. He's playing Sigmund Freud. I can't wait to watch that movie. But yet,
of course, you can't wait to see
a fucking robot. Jesus Christ! I cannot tell you how much I hate this movie already. I haven't even seen it.
And go to Twitter, dude. Say like, I dare you. Go on Twitter and say fuck Rebel Moon. I already hate it, and just watch and just watch. You want to get some engagement? Just watch, because the Zack Snyder fan base is fucking sadistic.
Oh, I know.
I just did a Zack Snyder video today. Nobody's really seen it yet, so maybe I need to hope it stays that way.
Man, you better, if you want some engagement, get on there. You know what you should title your shit? Just say fuck Zack Snyder in a YouTube title, and they're going to be like,
all
what are they going to do?
Well, no, the video was him saying more stupid stuff. Just, I'm not going to get into it, but like, he just, I don't understand, like, this guy shouldn't still be making movies. He should be doing like commercials for Adidas.
He should
there's an Adidas film coming out about the guy. The guy
should stick to what he's good at.
Have you missed the past 2.5 or 2 hours and 45 minutes of fucking what we've been talking about? Sorry, we spent 15 minutes on it, but holy shit, we've been talking about everything under the sun.
Look at Tim talk.
No,
we released the Snyder Cut.
I mean, Coast to Geek, we love you, man. We want you to be here. But yes, if something doesn't look good, and look, here's the bottom line: this shit could come out next week. I mean, it's not going to. It's coming out summer next year. It could come out, and
it's coming out in December. It's coming out this month. This is coming out
December.
Soon. Yes.
Yeah.
It's summer.
Caleb, isn't this a Christmas release, isn't it? I think
it is. It is.
Yeah, it's coming out.
I'm totally
month.
wrong. Then.
Yeah,
I'm totally wrong.
But look, I'm happy it didn't get passed through to Star Wars. We've had enough. We've had enough things to get mad at in Star Wars. I don't.
Yeah, guaranteed. This guy would have. We'd be talking about how awful anything he'd done with Star Wars would be. Guaranteed.
Yeah,
There's no chance he would have made a good Star Wars movie. No chance.
When he said it's okay, it's okay to hate on him. I think his movies look great. He's definitely, dude. Zach has this very particular look to all of his films. That's fine. We're not talking about the way it looks.
You know what? How stupid a lot of people in Hollywood are. Toasted Geek. What he does is he goes into a pitch and he's got 5 minutes to walk through a vision, and he's probably got some really cool storyboards, right? And he's got some sort of visual reel, something he creates that looks good, and they go, "Whoa, let's do that," and then they don't realize that he's a horrible director.
Here's the other thing. It's always tough when you have a bunch of people watching your streams and they don't get what you're getting at. I'm hoping I can pull up this one again. Where to go? There we go. It's okay for you guys to hate on him. I still think his movies look great. I've met a bunch of women that were fucking gorgeous and were complete fucking retards. Okay. So I'm not hating on the fact that they might be beautiful women, but if they're completely vapid and they're fucking retarded, then I don't want to spend the time talking to them. Okay. So I can appreciate a hot chick, but they have to have some substance to them. You know what I mean? And that's why I loved the original Star Wars movies. That's why I love the prequels, is they're hot as shit and they're smart as fuck. I love a woman like that.
Listen, I'm going to speak for Caleb for a second.
No, you're not.
if a girl looks good, Caleb does not care if she's vapid or retarded. If she's on the spectrum, as long as she looks halfway decent, Caleb, just call Caleb. He's all right. He'll talk to you.
Well, it sounds like also sounds like Daimyo and his tuna fetish. But so the answer.
This is not the shit on Caleb and Daimyo stream.
So here's an interesting thing about the release, right?
Caleb?
So the release of Rebel Moon, it starts on December the 15th.
Yeah,
and it's only in 70 millimeter. 70 millimeter.
Oh.
4 theaters.
Limits them.
4 theaters. So apparently he
right?
doesn't have Nolan's pull on this, or he didn't say, "Hey, Nolan, can you help me out?" 4 theaters in 70 millimeter. It's going to run for a week before it shows up on Netflix on December the 22nd.
Could you see him like trying to call and pick Nolan's brain? Like, Mr. Nolan, we've got Zack Snyder on line too. And Nolan's like, send that jerk off to voice.
Yeah, Nolan's like, new phone. Who dis? I'm not picking up fucking Zack Snyder.
He would be like insulted. Like he'd be insulted to have to talk to him. Like, I'm a director. He's a director. Nah, not so much.
He just put out $1 billion movie about Oppenheimer. It's like I'm not picking no fucking phone.
How about this, Matt? Where there was not one single fight scene in the movie. Like it was. And I walked out of there going,
"Did you want a fight scene in Oppenheimer?" Wait, I think
I'm just saying there was no.
What are you talking about?
Well, the movie, other than just the test, it was all dialogue. It was all just people talking, and that's amazing that people walked out of that theater, and I was one of them, going, "Damn, that was a great movie."
And by the way,
it made $1 billion.
Speaking of movies, because I'm still not over it, right? Speaking of movies,
oh my gosh!
Speaking of movies with dialogue or without, I can't recommend enough going to see Silent Night. John Woo's Silent Night.
Yes, he can. He didn't like it.
You sent me a fucking text. You're like, not for me. I'm scared. I don't know what's happening.
Go see it.
I'm still decompressing off this movie, and
that means it was crap.
Joel Kinnaman, by the way, Kinnaman killed it. He never said one thing in the whole fucking movie. Not one piece of dialogue was uttered. Amazing. Absolutely. But it was all John Woo all the time.
If you don't know how you feel about a movie 24 hours after you've seen the movie, it was a bad movie.
Go and see it. Go and see.
I may check it out.
Go and see it.
Now, to Chris's point in chat, there were 2 sex scenes in Oppenheimer. And Florence Pugh, all I got to say is...
Whoa, pew, 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 pew.
A girl.
Really good.
Not as good as Sydney Sweeney, though.
Those 2 things in there.
I want to comment on what you're talking about with the theaters, how it's only in 70 millimeter and like 4 theaters, and it's a limited release. I'm getting the feeling he almost had to beg for it to be in a theatrical release, right? Like,
exactly.
He's like, please, guys, come on, like.
and again, not to gush on Oppenheimer, but not only did Nolan corner the market on the 70 millimeters, but then they re-released it.
Yeah.
Then they re-released it again. It's like, okay, we can do more.
Hey, Salty Inferno, you can never see enough.
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Pew 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 pew. She was good.
I
had to make sure my door's shut. You can never see.
Well, and look, hey, I'm a guy. The first thing I did, they were like, Florence Pugh was naked in Oppenheimer. I'm like, I'm on Google. I'm like, okay.
You didn't believe me, X-Wing. I told you.
Why the hell is everybody freaking out? Those are like little mosquito bite, weird looking little motherfuckers, and everybody was like, "Oh my god!"
Well, Matt doesn't see a lot of them, so
Matt only likes lightsabers and pew pews.
Listen, I like me some pew pews. That's okay. Next thing is like, you're making this.
I'm being honest. I really think. I think Florence Pugh is like way above the shit that she's been casted in. If I'm going to be honest with you, I think Florence Pugh could do so much in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, hey, look, Look at her little titties on the internet. Fuck. Come on, man. She could do so good.
I don't care.
Well,
I'd like to see.
it was a little bit of a
a
strange choice.
I mean, that's okay.
It was a little bit of a
Salty
strange choice
Inferno,
for
it's
how they
Matt's
used
fault.
it in the movie. I'm being serious for a minute. Like the way there was one scene with her that you're like, that was a little strange that he chose that. But that movie's so great. The actors in it are so great. Even Alden Ehrenreich, like there's people in there that you're like, they're all great. And she read that script. She knows Nolan. She's like, you know what? I've got a scene or two that I've got to get naked. But like, this is a great story, and it was much better than her doing the movie with Harry Styles.
You know? See, in my mind, is like, man, could you
That
imagine
movie-
if you were watching Dune and everybody was talking about like, what's that guy's name?
Dune's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece.
Dude is overrated.
Yeah, thanks, Caleb.
Why can't I remember his fucking name right now? The new Willy Wonka.
That twink, the
twink. So imagine Dune 2 comes out, right? And like all the buzz around Dune 2 is like Timothée Chalamet had a scene and his cock was fucking super small. Look at that little tiny cock. Like imagine if everybody was talking about that. Like it sucks. I love Timothée.
By the way,
Chalamet.
they say that Hugh Grant steals that movie, which I'm.
Oh, My Relatives?
Fucking Hugh Grant.
Yeah. Well, of course he does, because Timothée Chalamet couldn't act his way out of a fucking paper bag.
Oh, but that's not true.
fucking-
And they said
King
Chalamet's
was an
singing is
incredible
also
movie.
really good, really good.
Which movie?
I did like
King was a
King.
terrible movie.
Wonka.
I
Have you
didn't
watched
mind
The
it.
King?
X-Wing, you and I will go back and forth with this till the day we die. King was terrible.
It wasn't
Yeah,
historically
we can
accurate-
go back and
accurate,
write, and you
right?
can be wrong the entire fucking time. The King
Oh.
was an incredible movie. It
The
was
King
good.
was. I agree with that.
Yeah, it was not historically great, but
Who
it
stole
was
the movie though?
It was a great movie.
Who stole the movie though? in The
Timothy
King?
Chalamet.
Robert
Pattinson
Pattinson
stole that movie.
I would say Robert Pattinson.
You're
yeah.
damn right. He
What?
did.
Who
what?
sent you to
Oh,
ask
no.
for my
He
surrender?
had way more range. He had way more range.
The fucking Joker from fucking Twilight, the Delphine was the star of the show.
Have you
Fuck
seen the
off.
Have you seen The
that
Lighthouse?
movie.
Have you seen The Lighthouse? I know Caleb's gonna get triggered right now, but have you?
I did. Yeah, I
Okay,
watched
he's
the Lighthouse.
phenomenal in that.
Yeah,
by the
that's
way,
fine. That's fine.
He's
That
phenomenal
doesn't
in the
mean he-
Batman.
Yeah, he's a good actor. People give him shit
was-
for being in Twilight, just for being in
Look,
Twilight.
the motherfucker
like
was
Scott.
good.
Also
Okay?
Cedric
He was great as the Delphine. Okay. You sent you a little ball. Yeah, I sent you a little ball. I am Edward from the Twilight. I sent you a little ball. That's fine.
Listen,
But
he played an
I'm telling
accurate.
you right now, the
played an
fucking
accurate stinky
speech
Frenchman.
that he gave in that battle when he said, "Make it England, make it England." I was like, "Yep, I'm going with you, dude." Like,
Tom
give me a-
Hiddleston did a better job.
Give me something heavy and metal, and I'm fucking charging in with you. Like Tom Hiddleston as a very Tom Hiddleston.
Pattinson.
Timothy Chalamet.
Thank you, Timothy Chalamet as a very small, like 5'2" skinny fucking dude.
Right.
The performance that he gave in that movie, I believed like fucking crazy. I believed the shit out of it. Like I would have followed that shitty little skinny Henry into battle all day.
Did you see the
It was
deleted scene?
incredible. It was incredible.
Do you see the deleted scene when they gave Timothy like a 15-pound sword and he couldn't pick it up?
I believe it, man. He's a shrimp. He's a shrimp.
The sword is heavy.
Dude,
please, for
one
the
v
love
one
of
with
God.
Timothy Chalamet. I'm breaking his fucking jaw in like 3 seconds.
You would think he'd be comfortable gripping swords, right?
You never know. But honestly,
You would
his
think.
his
I was
advisor
so
the
excited
night,
to do that sequel with Armie Hammer, but he just had to screw it up because he eats people.
What are we doing?
the night that got bodied right in the beginning was based off of oh my god, please help me, Kings. The night that was his advisor, he said, you know, my knee hurts, it's gonna rain. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy. anyways, he
In
stole the show
movie,
for
he's
me.
not supposed to be there because in the play he's been arrested and killed.
Right, but it's based off of the dude whose name I can't remember. He got hit in the head with a mace so badly that it stuck the helmet to his head and he couldn't fucking take it off. And he was like, "Fuck it, let's do this." And like
John
stood there and,
Joel
and, like
Edgerton.
took the fuck Joel Egerton.
Yeah,
he is like I think he's like my favorite fucking.
He's a good
in the
actor
world because he doesn't act. He's just Joel Egerton. Like
He's
every
an
time
Aussie.
you see him, he's
He's
just
a
fucking Joel.
Aussie dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
this
don't
guy-
fuck with that guy.
his brother's a big stunt guy, Nash.
Oh,
The
really?
better version
Those
of
dudes-
Henry V is either Sir Laurence Olivier's, what's his name? Kenneth Branagh, or Tom Hiddleston's version of the Hollow Crown.
And
There's
what
a better
sucks
version.
is in the play, Joel Egerton's character, the knight, is like a big, fat, drunk asshole.
Sir John Falstaff. He's
he's
not
just a
even in
fucking
Henry V
fucker.
because Henry had him arrested because he wouldn't. He wasn't a serious person, and he was part of the reason that Hal, who is Henry in Henry the Fourth, was such a drunkard and a lame ass.
So X-Wing.
Kings, sometimes you
X-Wing.
pull too much history and it makes it not fun.
Hey, X-Wing, you mean tell you something you're gonna like?
Story of my life.
What?
That I bet you don't even know it's being made. So you like Jamie Lannister, right?
Ooh.
Are you seriously about to Are you about to Bogart this?
I am.
I liked him.
Are you really
So-
about to Bogart this?
I mean, Jamie's a cunt. Like, he's a dick. I don't like him.
So-
He's slimy. He's a snake, but he's a bad motherfucker.
Is this actually happening?
So
Yeah, let him talk.
so
Seriously?
I'm gonna go ahead and usurp the guy that's not on camera below me.
Yeah.
They're doing a series.
Are you seriously doing this?
There he is. Look.
Are you seriously doing this?
There he is.
Filmed on location.
I'm even wearing the fucking hat.
The King and the Conqueror, and Jamie Lannister himself is playing William the Conqueror.
Yeah,
And we're
it's
gonna
gonna
get
be
a
dope.
we're gonna
We're
get
gonna
a
get-
series.
October
King
14th
and the Conqueror.
1066.
It's
The
true.
Battle of Hastings.
Are you bogarting Sundowners Bogart? Are
Yes,
you seriously
yes,
doing
yes,
this?
I am.
Are you really doing
Guarding.
Let's go, though. I mean, like, could you pick
gonna
a
be
more
great.
perfect dude? Could you pick a more perfect dude for, like, you can't.
And
No.
James Norton is playing.
Russell Crowe was
Harold
fucking awesome for it, but
Goodwin.
he's getting too old.
Yeah, it's
Get Henry Cavill in that bitch.
Henry's bitter, or Henry
Conan.
is busy with
Conan, right?
Do you have a fucking beer fridge right next
Yep.
to your studio?
That's why he never leaves. That's why
Yeah.
he's sitting there all day.
I need to see. Well, I have one. I have the Han Solo fridge, but I never put anything in it, and I never turn it on because I'm afraid it's gonna die.
yeah.
Daimyo, I didn't notice that you're not wearing a.
Oh yeah, I'm going blue collar today. I'm repping.
got the-
right now.
We
It's
can't
not
see
blue
because
collar?
you have no-
I'm
you have no
repping right
lights
now.
on.
It's
I've
literally
got-
a trucker hat.
Yeah,
You got
I've
the My Back Hurts hat.
Yeah, and the shirt. I'm full Milwaukee right now.
Oh, Evan just made me uncomfortable.
Sundown.
I love My Back Hurts.
Dude,
too
I've
much
got a bunch of
stuff.
merch that I've given to nobody.
Oh no. Oh,
I
my.
got a comment the other day. I'm trying to remember who it was. That's actually gonna bum me out. I don't remember who it was. They were like, can you please tell us about your merch on a stream?"
No
And, like-
wristband merch. Fuck you, Chris. Fuck you. Fucking asshole. Sorry.
I have my.
Sorry.
There you go.
I
3
can't believe
hours,
you did that
23
somehow.
minutes, and 22 seconds into it. I talked about it. I don't care. I want to set all my stuff in my store for like zero profit. I just want people to wear this shit.
Are you?
I love it.
Are you gonna talk
I
about it?
love seeing my people. I love seeing my people in X hats, dude. It makes me so happy.
Are you gonna talk about it?
No,
Okay.
but you can buy it. I have a YouTube channel. There's probably a link somewhere on the page.
I don't even know
You
if
can
I
buy
can
it.
post that link.
You see
If you want to buy it, you can buy
Project
it.
K Rand's chat?
Oh God, what? Daimyo and Kings clearly were separated at birth. Quick. Did
Dom DeLuise?
Oh no! Did Dom DeLuise have any contact with their moms?
I haven't
LOL.
heard Dom DeLuise.
Fuck you!
Oh my! Oh my!
Oh,
was
Matt and I are
awesome.
probably the only two old enough to know Dom DeLuise.
I know Dom.
brought it
That was
back.
awesome. That was awesome.
Fucking hell! Wait, who did he play in American Tail?
He was in Cannonball Run.
God damn.
Mars monkey.
Who did he play in American Tail? Oh, he's the fucking cat.
He did a bunch of movies with Burt Reynolds.
I'm really thinking
He's-
about sex shot that pistol.
Remember Matt Rissman? He used to always wear that hat, that little cap.
Don't do that.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh shit.
The stream should have ended an hour and a half ago.
It should have ended 2 hours ago.
But anyway, my point, X-Wing, is we got a new series out called King and Conquer.
Boy, I'm gonna. You
I
didn't
was
even
gonna
make a
say-
video about it.
I did.
I'm getting really fucking tired of TV shows. If I'm being honest, like I'm
too.
getting really fucking tired of TV shows. I want movies. I
Yeah.
want movies again. And honestly, like even if it's not released to the theater, at least get it to me in the house. Like I want fucking movies again. I would love to be able to sit down. Somebody tells me, "Hey, I got a story to tell." 2.5 hours later, I'm fucking done. That's it. It's not
Yeah.
8 weeks at 45 minutes, one time a week. I don't need another girlfriend. Like I'm good. I don't want to fucking spend my time each week. I'm short on two things: time and money. Like, so you have my money.
You're about to be even shorter on money.
Quit fucking with my time. So let me watch the story. Let's tell the story and be done with it. And I feel like a lot of these guys, you know, the fucking problem with Star Wars right now is that people are providing these stories. They're saying, wait until the end, wait until the end, wait until the end,
Yeah,
wait
then
until the
nothing
end.
happens.
You're gonna love the story. Wait until the end, wait until the end. And we get to the end, and all of us are sitting there going, what the fuck was I waiting for? There was no point to any of this. Or if there was a point to it, I fucking hated the point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Make
So-
a movie.
I completely agree with you about needing movies back that are actually good. But the problem, there's several problems. One is there's only like 3 or 4 people that are actually willing to direct that movie, that historical epic. One of them was Ridley Scott, and his last historical epic sucked balls.
Weren't a
Yeah,
fan
but
of Napoleon.
No,
Napoleon.
it wasn't great.
I heard it was historically not so accurate.
But
I,
not even
dude, I
that.
didn't even get into the historical inaccuracies in my unenjoyment. It was I'm speechless.
It's a historical movie.
The other problem
Probably should've seen the
is
first part.
if you've got a story, and I'll take King Conqueror and Battle of Hastings for example. There's so much stuff going on in between the Battle of Hastings and prior to that, the stuff about Harold's succession, William coming over, all that stuff. You wouldn't be able to tell the whole story in a single hour and a half, 2-hour movie.
All right, let me reel you in really quick. I'm going to reel you in. Hold on, Kings, really quick. Give us the rundown. 2 Ridley Scott movies, Gladiator, Napoleon.
Mhm.
What was the major difference between the two? Because Gladiator is basically Ben-Hur. What is the difference between Napoleon and whatever the fuck they would have based that off of? I guess. I don't know. Why is there not enjoyment in watching this historical figure do shit historically incorrectly through his story?
Because in Gladiator, Ridley Scott had a singular vision of what story he was going to tell. He knew the story. He has no idea what story he told in Napoleon. He doesn't know if it's a comedy. He doesn't know if it's
See, I call bullshit though. I call bullshit for 2 reasons. One,
okay,
Gladiator was Ben-Hur. Like I
And you
said,
did-
it's the story
I
of
disagree
Ben-Hur.
on that, but okay.
It's 100% Ben-Hur. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's
Secondly, how does he not know the story he's telling? It's a story of fucking Napoleon. It was written in history.
No, I know. How do you fuck it up? It's written in every fucking history book in the world. How do you fuck up Napoleon? But he did.
I like it.
He doesn't know if he's telling the story about Josephine and Napoleon. He doesn't know if he's
Yeah.
telling the story about Napoleon's conquest. He cuts off Italy, which is the whole reason Napoleon is important to begin with.
Well, okay, I want to
Well,
interject
that's what
here
I've
for a
heard.
second.
Is it was the story of Napoleon and Josephine more
But it's
than
not.
it was the
It's
story
the
of
story
Yeah.
Napoleon.
Half of it's the story of half of Napoleon and Josephine, and the other half is half the story of his conquer.
And look, when he covers the conquering stuff, he's doing it through the letters that he's writing. to
Yeah,
Josephine. So it's kind of a mess. Like, so he's sitting there narrating his letter to Josephine, and then like while he's narrating it, they show what's happening at each battle. But there's only one major battle, which is at the end of the movie. And so it feels weird. And there's a lot of these like one punch line like jokes in the movie that just kind of take me out of it at least.
There's fucking jokes in it.
Yeah. There are one hitters.
They laugh.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Risman.
And
I'm
there's
sorry.
so many times. that
No.
Hold on. Let
Diamond-
Risman go.
No, it sounds like they have a really short attention span.
Shut the fuck up, Matt.
I'm so
on,
sorry for
Sundowner,
stopping you guys from talking.
I'm not even going to identify that with response. The problem with another problem with Napoleon is they take going into the historical inaccuracies. They change things that don't need to be changed. Like for one example, have you ever seen a picture of the Sphinx?
My sphincter? Oh, the Sphinx. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The reason it looks
what?
bad.
I mean, how young are we now?
The reason it looked bad is because Napoleon had his artillery shoot at it. In the movie, they shoot at one of the pyramids. Okay, well, if the whole reason is to show that you're in fucking Egypt, everyone knows where the fucking Sphinx is, just like they know where the pyramids are. Why you shoot at one where he actually had them fucking shoot?
Caleb, it's simple. It looks cooler when you're shooting at the top of the Great Pyramid.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I had no idea that they actually fired on.
He used the Sphinx for target practice.
And
That's
they
why
definitely
it has holes in it.
Well, y'all talking about movies, the theater and the cinema. Like, I just looked at what's coming out in 2024, and
not great.
Any of the movies that are going to be hits, Sonic 3, Minions.
The fact that was the first fucking movie that you put out as a hit for 2024
because it's going to
breaks my fucking heart, dude.
Exactly. What I'm about to say is Despicable Me 4, Sonic, Wicked. You know, there's sequels. They're animated.
What the fuck is Wicked?
Wicked is based on the musical of Wizard of Oz.
Two Wicked movies.
Two Wicked movies. So you've got
it's Brendan Fraser's birthday today.
Wait.
And
Are we talking
Beetlejuice
about
2.
this? Are we talking about the same Wicked that South Park made an episode making fun of Broadway shows to get a blowjob? That Wicked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the point is that next year we have sequels, remakes, The Fall Guy,
and that's all it is.
Beetlejuice 2.
Hey, this is still technically considered as a remake, though.
Yeah. But it's a sequel.
Overrated.
Like, there's nothing coming out that
It's a masterpiece.
there's nothing coming out that you're going to go see like you saw with The Matrix or with Star Wars or with there's
A new thing.
No,
Something
there's nothing
that's
new.
new that blows your mind.
It's all repurposed stuff.
So I'm going to be honest with you guys. I sat down.
Of newness to it is Argyle. That's the only thing that has really any sort of.
It looks like
this is new.
It looks.
I sat down the other day and I watched a Disney movie that was actually, believe it or not, it's not accessible on Disney Plus, which I thought was really fucking weird. It was a movie called Tomorrowland.
Yep.
Have you guys watched
I
that?
watched it.
I watched it when it came out.
Yep.
That movie was fucking incredible. I loved that movie because everything in that movie was Walt Disney coded, because we can call shit queer coded or I don't know, poop coded or whatever people say nowadays. It was Walt Disney centric. It was everything about being a dreamer, being a man of tomorrow. You know, we look at the future of our planet, and we have such a terrible mindset about where things are going to go. But this movie said you can change that. You can be different. You can be a dreamer. You can change things. You can do all this stuff. And I was like, I fucking love this movie because it gives me hope. It gives me hope. It makes me feel good. It was a great story. And it's not on Disney Plus. It's literally named after one of your fucking parks. That should be at the front and center of fucking Disney Plus.
Well,
And
it's
it's
like
not
$100
on there.
million.
It's not enough
And
messaging.
I can't understand why the fuck it's not there, other than to further the proof of the point of that movie is that they don't want things to be good.
I think it's the right
the point of that.
issue,
The point of that movie was to say that like we predictively program ourselves to go to shit. And I told my wife, I was like, you have to watch this movie. I loved it when I was like, it came out when I was like 15, 16, 17, I don't know, somewhere around there.
I saw it in the theater.
And I went on Disney Plus and I'm like, this has to be one of the first movies. It's not accessible on Disney Plus. And it fucking blew my mind.
Remember what I told you, X-Wing, when we were talking about that before? They actually had a movie in development that Jon Favreau was going to direct called Magic Kingdom. And it was going to take place with some characters being stuck in the park, and all the characters from Disney World come to life. Like, it's a night at the museum, but at Magic Kingdom. Like, that was a great concept.
Don't make that. Don't make that.
Yeah, it's like, and it just disappeared.
Too much hope, too much joy. Don't do that. Put a chick in it, make it gay.
And lame and gay.
By the way, they're also remaking Twister.
Yeah, Twisters.
They're making Twister.
Because listen, you got to get the pronoun right,
Updated
Caleb.
version of the
Twisters.
20s. Yeah. Well, yeah. But it's an updated version of the 1996 classic Twister.
Yeah.
Any kid who grew up watching movies knew that cow.
What was that?
The cow.
The cow.
You remember
Do the
Twister?
moo again.
There was, you don't remember that? There was a scene where the cow, they tried to do like an early 3D type effect. And
Highlight
the fucking cow,
highlight Mars Max's thing.
what am I, I'm just a monkey? You're going to tell me what to do here?
No, not that one. The last one. Twister 2, Hurricane.
There's so many fucking... Oh.
I shouldn't say this. Someone told me the other day, we're talking about Twister, because I liked the original movie. I just liked it. Yeah. And someone said, I shouldn't say this.
He's gonna say it anyway. I shouldn't say it.
We're already demonetized, but don't get me in the gutter here.
Someone said, Twisters 2, Paxton's through.
Bill Paxton.
R.I.P.
Oh no.
It took me a second when they told me. I was like, oh shit.
You're looking for reason and common sense from Disney X-Wing, you know better. They're less reliable than Alec Baldwin with a gun.
No, he's reliable with a gun. He shot 2 people on set.
Yeah, what are you talking about, man? He's dead eye. Fuck yeah, he does.
Yeah. He's going to court again.
Oh, that's mean. Rest in peace, gal. I don't remember her name. Well, we've let this go on way too long.
You think? You think?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys do. You guys believe in anything?
I believe in a lot of stuff. I believe in
House of the Dragon season 2.
Do you believe in this channel? Do you believe?
Yes.
I believe.
Yes,
I believe.
You believe?
I believe.
I believe.
Do you believe? I believe.
I believe in Asian turtles.
I believe.
My time has come. You must continue your journey without me.
What are you? What? Master! You can't leave me! You must believe. Master!